Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 1 of our story. If you like this What If story and want to see part 2, let me know in the comments below. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, check the description for more great content and my playlist. This story was posted by DZHReader on Wattpad. Now let's start. Izuku Yagi was his name before becoming the famous villain BLD Tyrant. The name BLD Tyrant is feared throughout the underworld where villains dwell. Once you cross paths with the BLD Tyrant, your rights to breath isn't yours anymore. He is famous for showing no mercy to anyone and everyone who messes with him, no matter how small the deed. It's not like he can completely win you in a brawl, not like that, he has his pawns to do that for him. The BLD Tyrant will bring despair upon you, your family and your friends. He isn't afraid to hurt innocents that are close to you just because you accidentally sneezed at him. That's why he's a tyrant. Not a single soul has rivaled his power in the underworld. Even All for One had to be wary of him. Just like there are true heroes, there are also true villains, like the BLD Tyrant. Scene change to 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 office All Might. This is the 14th hero that has been killed by the BLD Tyrant. You expect me to do nothing about this? 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, we have too little information on him. If you cross paths with him, I doubt you can win. All Might. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, we must do something please. All Might's voice getting weaker and weaker as he speaks. He is pale and in his skinny form which actually suits his tone now. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, revenge isn't the way 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏. All Might just looks down staring into emptiness. Scene change to Izuku. Izuku is in his lair underground. He was sitting on his throne, waiting for a report from his subordinates. The room was big and spacious until to the point where it felt empty. Concrete walls covered in dried-up BLD surrounded paints multiple tragic tales of foolish heroes who dares enter the room. Izuku has numerous goons under his command, but in the hierarchy, he only trusts 3 of them. The first is his right-hand man, 𝗧𝗓𝗓, or 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏. Izuku found him on top of a roof, ready to jump. After a lot of convincing, he managed to curb his suicidal intent and become friends with him. Later on, he recruited 𝗧𝗓𝗓 to work with him and clean the society. The second is Izuku's secretary, bodyguard and girlfriend, 𝗏𝗏 Himiko. Izuku found her broken in an alleyway, sobbing in despair. He took her in, gave her shelter, food and some of his BLD. After 𝗏𝗏 saw Izuku's kindness, she swore to always stay by him no matter what. Last person is one of the commanders of his many goons and childhood friend, Hitoshi 𝗫𝗏. Izuku met Hitoshi when he was being beat up by students when Hitoshi has a mouthguard on. Izuku rescued him by beating the living daylights out of the students and giving a hand of Hitoshi. They later became sworn friends since the age of 9. Team Alpha, who is led by Hitoshi, came in and kneeled to Izuku. Izuku, report. Hitoshi, number 23 Pro Hero Gumball has been eliminated. There are no casualties, no injured and no captured. Izuku, dismiss. Team Alpha immediately walked out of the room in an orderly fashion except for Hitoshi who stayed behind. Izuku, good work today. Izuku got out of his throne as he walked towards Hitoshi. He pulled out some chewing gum from behind his back and threw a pack at Hitoshi. Izuku, for you, it has caffeine inside. Hitoshi, thanks. Hitoshi pop a few caffeinated chewing gum inside his mouth as he spoke. Hitoshi, how's the others doing? Izuku, same old, same old. 𝗧𝗓𝗓𝗏 is currently burning down some agencies. 𝗏𝗏 is helping me spy on a few people. Hitoshi, are you not scared they get caught? Izuku suddenly burst in maniacal laughter. Izuku, haha, is this your first day of knowing them? They are professionals, trained by yours truly here. If they were to get caught, I wouldn't have sent them on the missions in the first place. Izuku was dead confident in both 𝗧𝗓𝗓𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏. Both of them were chosen by Izuku for a reason and it was because of their skill and loyalty. Izuku, anywho, I got a new mission for you. Hitoshi, I just got back from one. Izuku, no complaints, I pay you more than enough for this. Hitoshi, touché Izuku. Anyways, get into you, I need someone on the inside for me. I plan to kill the BSRD All Might soon in Green Tornado 2. Both of them deserves to rot in the deepest layers of hell imaginable. Hitoshi raised an eyebrow. Hitoshi, what's your vendetta against them anyways? I know you don't like them but not on this level. Izuku clicked his tongue. Izuku, let's just say it's personal. I got the paperwork done already. Take the entrance exam in a month, you will definitely pass with your skill. Izuku said as he throws a key at Hitoshi with him catching it flawlessly. Hitoshi, what's this? Izuku, your new house, it's only a 10 minutes walk from UA, fully furnished too. You get to live there until you complete your mission or you get found out. Preferably the prior. Hitoshi, alright. Anything else? Izuku, alright. Team Alpha, Division 2. Cenità Ashino, he's a spy from All for One. You know the procedure, go deal with him. Hitoshi immediately knew what he meant as he walked out of the big room and for that person. A few moments later in a dark room only lit by a single light bulb, sitting bound to a chair was a fearful Cenità Ashino. He didn't know what happened. One moment he was drinking with some of his friends, next moment he woke up to this room. Cenità was really wary of his surroundings, one of his many traits he while working as a spy for All for One. However, he couldn't feel anything this time. All for One instructed him to kill himself when he got caught, but he didn't have his cyanide pill on him. Hitoshi walks into the dark room with an angry Izuku and another high-ranked commander named Mashiro Shina. Izuku walks towards Cenità, unleashing his BLD lust to the max. Anyone who isn't used to his bloodlust will feel nauseous immediately, and the weaker ones may faint. Cenità tenses up from Izuku's bloodlust. He was used to All for One's fearful area, but Izuku's bloodlust was on a whole other level. Izuku, I know All for One sent you. I just have one question. Where is All for One? Cenità, two don't know. Izuku, Hayes, another fool. Hitoshi, Mashiro, you are up. This is where the BLD Tyrant earns his title. Hitoshi and Mashiro held the man down while Mashiro activated her quirk on him. Mashiro had a quirk where she can intensify a person's senses. It can be used for sight, sound, smell, and touch. In other words, it's the perfect quirk for torture. BLD warning. Izuku walked up super close to the man and pulled out a scalpel. Izuku slid the scalpel across the man's cheeks as BLD dripped down. Suddenly, Izuku stabs the scalpel into the man's cheek, impaling the cheek and his gums. The man screamed in pain as he began to struggle. Hitoshi and Mashiro put some extra force into keeping him still. His mouth now forced open by the scalpel, Izuku began his next move. Izuku brings out a certain tool known as a pliers. He inserted the pliers into the man's mouth and began to pull out his teeth one by one. Cenità at this point couldn't even scream. His resistance level and spirit has just been crushed. The quirk Mashiro has probably made him experience this hell on another level. BLD warning over. Izuku, have you broke already? Tell me where he is and I'll let you go. Cenità, sniff I don't know Izuku, TSK useless. Hitoshi kill him. With a swift slice of the neck, Hitoshi ended Cenità's misery. Mashiro just stood there unfazed by the rolling head. She had seen this too many times before that she got used to it. As the captain of Team Delta, she needs to maintain an unbreakable facade to keep her position. Izuku walks out of the room with the two. Izuku is fuming. It hates All for One too much. It grew too deep. To understand Izuku, we need to turn back time to around a year ago. Izuku then was still part of the Yagi household, although barely. No one there really cared about him at all, however, he was used to it. One day as he walks back from school, he saw a man hurting a young girl on the streets. By that time, Izuku had shed all emotions and just stared at the scene with his empty eyes. Eyes devoid of life and hope. As Izuku walked past the scene, all he heard was the girl screaming for help. One step at a time, Izuku felt something inside him yelling to save that girl, the sensation that he hasn't felt in years. Izuku glances at the scene as he sighs, walking towards the man. Izuku, hey, I think you should stop, you are hurting her. The man turns around to see Izuku stare into his soul with empty eyes. He smirks. The man, what you going to do about it? He said as he picks Izuku up by the collar and slams him into the nearby brick wall. Izuku had enough. He was tired of being pushed around by everyone. Tired of bullies, tired of the injustice. Izuku's eyes turned BLD red, as he shoves the man back. Izuku picked up a rock from the ground and started pummeling the man in the head. Bash after bash, smack after smack until he heard a deafening crack. Izuku broke his skull. In his mind, blankness overtook his thought process. He was acting in his true nature. He turned around to see an even more frightened girl. "Girl, please don't hurt me." Izuku saw it, the injustice. He who saved the girl is now feared by the victim. But Izuku ignored it as he walked away. As he turned around, he saw a pro hero in front of him. Izuku, ranked 102 jelly. The hero looked at the dead man in front of Izuku and the frightened girl and looks back at Izuku. "Jelly, you are under arrest for murder and potential child abuse." "Izuku, I defended the girl from the man." Izuku's voice was calm, displaying no emotion. "Jelly, I don't believe you. You either come with me or I take you by force," Jelly said as he gets into his fighting stance. Izuku's eye was still BLD red. His anger hasn't subsided. All he can think about is the injustice. As Izuku stared at the pro hero, he recalls two particular pro heroes. They never took his side, they never trusted him, they always punished him for nothing, they only liked Izumi. That was the final straw that broke Izuku. He was sick of being the nice guy and being accused of the bad guy. He was done hiding and cowering. This time will be different. He chose BLD. Within a few minutes, both the pro hero Jelly and the girl was dead. Izuku covered in BLD, walking to his secret base, an abandoned warehouse in the outskirts of Tokyo. He had already packed up everything and wanted to start a new life there. A life where he can live without restraints. Back to present, Izuku was resting in his quarters. It wasn't big or lavish, only furnished with a bed, a table and some shelves. He was calculating the finance for his gang since Toga wasn't around. He had promised to protect and ensure the safety of everyone that serves him, which include giving them salary. In the gang, more people respected than feared him. He had managed to save multiple people from the depths of slavery and kidnappings. In their eyes, he was a hero. There is a saying that goes on in the gang. Those who treat him with kindness, he will repay that kindness tenfold. Those who treats him with injustice, he will repay the injustice 1,000 times over. Only fools dares to mess with the BLD tyrant. At the Yagi household, Toshinori just got back from UA. Toshinori unlocks the door as he steps in. Cold air from the living room blows as he took off his shoes. The once warmth he felt in his family got ruined one day. His wife, Izuku Yagi, now doesn't greet him when he gets home, she just watched TV. Her daughter, Izumi Yagi, now comes home late, ignores the family when she come back and locks herself in her room. It wasn't always this way, until Izuku Yagi left. "Toshinori, I bought soba for dinner, come and eat when you want." Both Inko and Izumi didn't respond. Toshinori sighs as he sits down at the dining table. He slurps his soba as he thinks. The pathetic excuse of a family he has now is a fragment of what is used to be. Back when Izuku and Izumi was still young and didn't have their quirk, their lives were perfect. Everyone will sit at the dining table, laugh and play, smile and eat, everyone has a blast. But everything changed on Izuku and Izumi's 4th birthday. Izumi was announced to have a telekinesis quirk which overjoyed the Yagis. However, Izuku was a different story. "Doctor, Izuku here has a quirk mutation. When activated, he will turn into an emotionless monster who craves nothing more than BLD and death. His strengths are also buffed a few folds with the change, so he is quite dangerous." The Yagis shocked to hear Izuku's quirk. To Toshinori, it was the least heroic quirk ever. He will rather die than admit that his failure of a son has a villainous quirk. After that day, he neglected to feed Izuku, neglected to speak to Izuku. Whenever he saw Izuku, he feels a sense of disgust and hatred, as if he was looking at trash itself. However, everything changed when one day, when Izuku attacked Izumi. Scene change to Dabi was currently causing havoc in downtown Tokyo in the name of the BLD tyrant. He is a stronger fighter, able to take on multiple inexperienced heroes easily. With his hot blue flames, he burns down another trash can with his goons as he marched down the streets. Ever since meeting the BLD tyrant, his life changed for the better. Dabi no longer felt neglected, no longer felt lost. Izuku acted like a younger brother to 𝗬𝗧𝗏 when they are off work. They would laugh and play, have a good time in general. They understood each other since they both told each other their past. Sky-high red flames suddenly erupted in front of 𝗬𝗏𝗏. The red flames countered his blue flames, both colliding and causing a massive explosion. He knew too well what or who that was. The red flames to him symbolizes his hatred and anger. It was his father, Endeavor. The goons immediately scatter at the sight of the number 2 hero. They ran away without turning back, since they knew the consequences if they fought the number 2. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 just stood there, staring at him as he stares back. Endeavor, 𝗬𝗏𝗏. Your chaos and destruction stops here. 𝗬𝗏𝗏 clicked his tongue at the man. Even with all the signs, he still couldn't recognize 𝗬𝗏𝗏 as a Todoroki. This really showed how much 𝗛𝐸 cared for him. 𝗬𝗏𝗏, time for your butt to die then. Both charges up their flames as they prepare for a brawl. Scene change to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is currently in a club in Kyoto. She had been sent to spy on a close contact to All for One. Her long blonde hair and appealing face made it easy to get into areas like those. The bouncers just let her stroll right in. Her life after meeting Izuku had been the best time of her life. They both are lovers during off hours as they embraces each other's presence. Izuku will treat her like a princess, spoiling her with so much gifts that she had to ask him to chill. They both accepted each other easily, due to the nature of their past. They both understood the rarity of a person who truly cared for them. As Toga took another sip of her mocktail, the target she was stalking approached her. Target, hello bae, want me to buy you another drink? Toga is disgusted by the drunken man who had a foul smell of alcohol laced on him, but she had to keep up appearances. Toga, sure sweetheart. The target called the bartender as he ordered 2 shots whiskey. When he took the glasses, he sneakily laced a pill into one of the shot glasses. Toga saw this as she immediately put her guard up. She had a prediction what the target is trying to do and she didn't like it one bit. Target, here you go. The target said as he handed the glass to Toga. Toga took the glass as she carefully pretended to drink the whiskey. In actual fact, she just poured it on the floor when the target wasn't looking. Toga, I feel kind of dizzy right now. She was trying to fake the effects of the drag after that since she still had a job to do. After saying that, she immediately faked being unconscious as she lied on the countertop. After expected, the target began to carry her out of the club as he walked her to an alleyway. Toga was fully conscious of this, but she just needed him to walk a little further inwards. Target, hee, time to have some fun. Toga immediately saw the cue as she opens her eyes and kicks the target in the head. The target fell over to the ground as Toga began to unleash her bloodlust aura. A fearful look began to take place in the eyes of the target as his limbs grew numb from looking at Toga. Toga, yeah, time to have some fun. Scene change to Izumi Yagi. It has been a year since Izuku's departure. Life is not what it used to be for Izumi. Izumi can be seen dragging her legs to school, slowly walking through the gates, being late again. She didn't care anymore. Her dreams of being a hero had ended the instant Izuku left. She walks into the classroom and took her seat. The teacher tried to reprimand her, but she didn't listen. She just looked into blank space. Beside her was Katsuki Bakugou, her only friend left. Or what is the closest person to a friend? Katsuki was still loud and arrogant as ever, as if the incident a year ago didn't even affect him. They had 2 more weeks until UA entrance exam, so nothing else matters except for that. However, the principal of UA, Nizu, already despised them for the treatment they gave Izuku, forcing him to run away, so the likelihood of them being accepted was low. The classes felt like for forever to Izumi, but eventually it was done. She looked beside her to see what used to be Izuku's seat, remembering all the bullying she and Katsuki did on Izuku. Does she regret it? She can't tell anymore. She just knows it feels empty. Even if she hated Izuku for his quirk, it still felt like he deserves it for some reason. As Izumi walks home from school, odd figure appears in front of him. The figure wasn't human, at least it didn't look like one. The slime thing saw her as it immediately shouts, "Slime, bodysuit. Hot bodysuit." The slime rushed Izumi as it tried to grab a hold of her. It wasn't the first time Izumi had to deal with attackers though. She used her telekinesis quirk in addition to one for all to power it up and launches the slime into the nearby wall. As the slime screams in pain, she only stood and stared at the slime villain. Somewhere in her brain she thought it looked like Izuku. Helpless, weak, disgusting. Of course, she knew better than anyone those weren't true anymore. Before Izuku left, he had returned home one last time to collect some stuff. At that time, Izumi still bullied Izuku and didn't know his hidden strength. Izumi, hey brother, why look so gloomy? Shall I turn that frown upside down? Of course, she didn't mean it, but just wanted a reason to mess with Izuku. Izuku looked up to reveal his BLD red eyes, as Izumi's smile immediately faded in disgust. Izumi, what? You used that disgusting quirk again. Looks like you need another lesson. However, this time, the teacher is getting taught. Izuku had enough of Izumi as he stares her down with bloodlust. This is the first time Izumi's seen Izuku unleash his BLD lust at her before, so she was taken off guard. In the moment of weakness, Izuku ended the fight by slicing Izumi's back open. She didn't see Izuku go behind her. He was too fast. Izumi collapsed onto the floor as BLD flowed out of her back. Izuku walked up to her as he just said a single word. Izuku, die. As Izuku was about to finish Izumi off, by some miracle, All Might appeared as he punched Izuku into a nearby tree. Izuku flew back as he watched All Might's smile disappear. All Might, what did you do to her, villain? Izumi just realized that her father didn't care about Izuku's well-being at all, using his max strength to punch Izuku hard. Izuku looked at the two as he spoke another word. Izuku, die. This time, he said it with real killer intent. Izuku rushed All Might. Next thing she knows, she blacked out. This was her last memory of Izuku. A murder-bent brother who wants to end her life, who wouldn't feel sad. However, she is to blame for the way Izuku has become, so who is the real victim here? Back with the slime, Izumi bottled the slime up as she puts the bottle in her school bag. She then brought the slime to the police station as she walks back home. Scene changed to Izuku. Izuku was off work now. For once he was outside his lair and walking around in public. He is heavily disguised as Izuku Yagi is currently still a missing person. He covered his green eyes with black contact lenses and wore a beanie to cover his hair. He is currently walking to his favorite spot to relax, a cat cafe. He frequents this cat cafe when he has the time for it, since it helps him relax and gain some feeling of happiness back. Izuku walks in and he greets the girl at the counter who welcomes him. He immediately saw a certain hobo-looking guy playing around with the cats also in a corner of the room. He walks up to the man as he sits down next to him while some cats go to Izuku. Izuku, off work again. Aizawa, yeah, what about it? Izuku, just wondering, you have been coming here a lot more often the past few weeks. Aizawa, well, in a few weeks I'll be busy again, new batch of class and all. Izuku and Aizawa actually has a weird relationship. They aren't friends but close enough to be considered friends. They are more like people who share a common interest that get along. Izuku, what a pity, I won't get to chat with you anymore. Aizawa, I don't want another 1-hour argument about which cat species looks the cutest. Izuku, touché. Izuku spent the rest of his free time playing with the cats and chatting with Aizawa about random topics. Aizawa doesn't know about Izuku's identity and just thinks he is another random person off the streets that likes cats. However, Aizawa does suspect something though. Whenever they speak about family affairs, Izuku usually changes the topic or ignores the question altogether. Aizawa doesn't want to pry too much since if Izuku is in any kind of real trouble, he will most likely tell Aizawa since he is a pro-hero and all. After a few hours, Izuku left the cat cafe alone. Aizawa had left already, so Izuku just walked to a nearby mall and have dinner before heading back home. It was the morning of the UA entrance exam. Izuku and Hitoshi were discussing about the plans moving forwards in their base. Izuku, you just need to tell me any potential places All Might can be at that will leave him vulnerable. I frankly don't care if there are any students caught in the crossfire, so just tell me everything. Hitoshi, damn, I know you are ruthless now, but looking at you and past Izuku, you really have changed a lot. Izuku, both of our families abandoned us. The difference is, I didn't forget nor forgive. Hitoshi, I guess so. Izuku, any questions? Hitoshi, actually yeah there is one. Why do you send me? Izuku, I trust you not to snitch to UA, that's the official reason. But, the truth is, I feel like you should get a chance to go back to a normal life of a high schooler. Hitoshi tilts his head slightly at Izuku's statement. Izuku, I paved this path of BLD and destruction, however, you merely followed it. I want to give you a choice to turn back, since the upcoming events are going to be on another level. The moment Izuku finishes that sentence, Hitoshi slaps Izuku's head, shocking Izuku. Hitoshi, you truly are an idiot. I followed you because I want to. We both feel the same way towards this broken society. I don't want a second chance living an unhappy life under it. With that, Izuku shows a super rare smile to Hitoshi, then immediately goes back to his usual stone-cold expression. Hitoshi sighs as he fist bumps Izuku, showing their friendship. Hitoshi, oh yeah, when is Toga and Dabi coming back? I kind miss their company, not like I will admit it in front of them. Izuku, Toga said she is coming back in a few days actually. She completed her job faster than I thought, so I gave the remaining time as her holiday. Dabi is coming back in around 3 weeks. He didn't say much but he seems to be having fun. Hitoshi, alright then, I'll be going now. Hitoshi said as he waved goodbye to Izuku and leaving through the door. Scene change to Shigaraki. Tamura is currently in a bar somewhere in Japan. The last time he heard from his sensei was already 1 month ago when he delivered 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 to him. He was confused on what should be his next step. He knows he should target All Might, but UA is a tough fortress to penetrate. He doesn't have the luxury to just walk in and attack him. Suddenly, the TV screen behind him lights up showing audio only. Thefo, it's been a long time Tamura. Tamura, where have you been sensei? I thought you had abandoned me. Thefo, don't worry, I'll never abandon you. It just have been difficult to find a time to speak to you. I have been working on more connections in the underworld since most of my long-time connections suddenly disappeared. Tamura, I don't care what your reason is, I need your help. AFO, oh my apologies, what is it? Tamura, how do I attack UA? I want to kill All Might. Their defense it's too strong, it's almost like a cheat code. AFO, I believe the first step in attacking a boss is reconnaissance, right? Lucky for you, I have just the pawn to help you with that. Tamura couldn't see it but he knew AFO was smiling widely behind the screen. AFO, my associate will arrive in a few days, be ready to meet him. He will be our source of information inside UA from now onwards. Tamura, Scene change to Katsuki Bakugou. It is the day of UA entrance exam. Katsuki is dragging his feet inside UA, hoping that Nizu or Aizawa won't be around. Nizu had warned him that any hints and even thoughts of him bullying another person he display will send his butt to prison pronto. He already got off lucky with only needing to do community service and strict supervision under UA staff. The ankle monitor around his leg is to show for his past deeds, as many avoided him from then onwards. Katsuki knew this was better than life in prison though, so he had to deal with it, not like he is a sociable person anyway. Katsuki walked into the auditorium where the briefing by Present Mic was held. He saw Izumi along the way but didn't bother to contact her. He thought that she wanted to be left alone after seeing what remains of her family. The once great All Might he looked up to now hangs a fake smile that hides his depression. It no longer beams with hopes and dreams but rather emptiness and shallowness. Suddenly a blue hedgehog stood up and spoke. Tenya, excuse me sir, I believe there is a mistake. The brochure states that there are 4 robots but you only mention 3. If this is an error on UA's part, it will be highly unprofessional. Tenya then turns around and points at Katsuki. Tenya, and you blonde guy. You have not been paying attention at all. If you think this is a joke then I suggest you leave. Katsuki was about to snap, but he knew if he did, his chances of becoming a hero will become basically 0. Instead, he just decided to keep his calm, although just barely. Katsuki, for eyes, I suggest you sit down and listen well to the hero there. He hasn't finished his explanation yet, so don't interrupt him. Also, I was just in deep thought, since one was thinking a crime, huh? This response made Tenya sit back down slightly embarrassed. Katsuki clicked his tongue soon afterwards. This speech he made him sound like Izuku. Katsuki, Only the nerd will have this kind of cheesy speech. After the briefing was over, he walked out of the auditorium to the practical exam area. As he was walking, he accidentally bumped into someone. "Katsuki, watch where you're standing." Katsuki didn't want to start a fight, but that was his natural response which he couldn't control. The guy turned back as he examined Katsuki. He had purple hair and eyes that looked like he hasn't slept for days. "Hitoshi, whoa, you bumped into me, man, don't get upset at me." Katsuki didn't really care anymore as he walked away from the guy. However, Hitoshi realized something. Hitoshi grabbed Katsuki's shoulder and yanked him so that they face each other. Katsuki got caught off guard by him as he shouts, "Katsuki, what's your problem?" Hitoshi, ash blonde hair, red eyes, horrible attitude. "You are Katsuki Bakugou, aren't you?" Katsuki was very confused. He has never seen this guy in his life before, yet he knows his name. "Katsuki, yeah, I am. For you." Hitoshi's face immediately turns into a sour expression. Izuku had told Hitoshi about Bakugou before, and he knows what Katsuki had done to Izuku. "Hitoshi, someone who despised your guts." Both of them stared at each other with dagger-like glares, as tension in the air rose. The surrounding people didn't dare to approach them, fearing that they will get caught in a scuffle. Mixed shout broke the tension in the air as all the students rush into the robot area. Katsuki and Hitoshi broke off the stairs as they also rushed in. Hitoshi/Katsuki, lucky. With that, the entrance exam begins. Scene change to Dabi was resting in an abandoned building as he ate some cup noodles he bought. His goons had abandoned him after Endeavor appeared in front of them a few days ago, leaving Dabi to fend for himself. Not that he minds, he wanted a one-on-one with Endeavor anyways. As a result, Dabi got wounded pretty badly and had to retreat. He did give the number 2 hero a run for his money though, since he heard that Endeavor ended up taking a few days break. Dabi had bandaged his chest and anywhere that he has burns on, hoping it will heal relatively soon. With no other choice, he hid himself in the abandoned building to evade any potential heroes that have chased to him and camped there for a few days. Suddenly footsteps can be heard near the entrance of the building. It wasn't heavy nor was it quick, it just sounded like someone has randomly came upon the building. Dabi hid himself behind some cover as he listened to the footsteps. He didn't know the intentions of the person, so he wanted to hide until he leaves. The footsteps became louder and louder until Dabi was sure the person was in the same room as him. Then it just stopped. "I can see your leg, you know." Dabi cursed himself for being too tall as he stood up to confront the man. By his tone, Dabi concluded he was no threat for now, so he revealed himself. "So who are you?" "Dabi. Think I should be the one asking first. You stepped into my abandoned building and called me out first." "TSK, fine. Name is Shigaraki Tamura. I heard from my sensei that there is some arsonist around here that hates heroes too. I am here to recruit him. I'll take it that's you." Dabi nodded and rose an eyebrow at Tamura's suggestion. He wanted to reject but thought it may be good disguising himself as another group to collect more intel. He needed to discuss this with Izuku later. "Dabi, I will think about it." "Tamura, all right. You can contact us at this number when you have decided, our number every Monday, so you have 3 days to decide." With that, Tamura walked out of the room, leaving a perplexed Dabi. With all the popularity that the BLD Tyrant is getting, choosing another group instead of it will be a really good for cover. Dabi quickly dialed up a number once he confirmed Tamura was gone. "Dabi, I'm coming back early." "Izuku, got it." With that, Dabi packed up some things as he prepares to go back to the main base. Scene changed to Izuku. Dabi just called into Izuku stating he is coming back early. To Izuku, this was weird since Dabi never really liked staying at base, so either he has something important to talk about or he just misses Izuku. Izuku hopes it's the former. Izuku checks the time as he realizes Hitoshi should be done with the UA exam by now. Hitoshi already moved into the new house Izuku gave to him, so he wouldn't be going back to base. Sitting in the empty cold room, Izuku wonders how long will it take for his dream to come true. A dream where him and his friends can live peacefully without having to resort to this criminal lifestyle. Mashiro of Team Delta reporting. Izuku's thought process got interrupted by Mashiro. "Izuku, speak." "Mashiro, We have successfully contacted the 𝗂𝐻𝗧𝗏 group. Our meeting request is still pending. Izuku, good work. Dismiss. Izuku wanted to contact the 𝗂𝐻𝗧𝗏 for one reason only. He had captured some members of the 𝗂𝐻𝗧𝗏 in a territory dispute. After Izuku interrogated some of them, he had learned the existence of a young girl named Eri who was being subjected to experiments. This boiled Izuku's blood. He may be evil but ain't crazy. Even he knows better than to torture and use a young girl. That's why he is going to ambush the 𝗂𝐻𝗧𝗏 and take them out once and for all. Plus, it is a good chance to take out another one of the major underworld groups. It's killing two birds with a single stone. Izuku can't wait for the rest to come back. He thinks as he imagines the fun they will have. A few days after the UA entrance exam, 𝗏𝗏 had returned back to base. He had really important stuff to discuss with Izuku about the recruitment offer from Shigaraki Tamura. Izuku, so that's what's going on, huh? 𝗏𝗏, yeah, think I should accept. Izuku, I don't know. This sensei he mentioned seemed quite sketchy. But joining a smaller gang would allow you to lay low for a while since Endeavor is on your butt. 𝗏𝗏, should we send some of our goons to scout it out first? Izuku, I doubt that will work. Considering he personally came to invite you, their gang is probably one base on invitation only. Izuku sips his cup of coffee as he continues. Izuku, honestly, I say join for a month and see what happens. If they end up not doing anything, I suggest you leave and come back here. If they somehow climb up to our status, it will be good to have an insider when we crush them. Izuku shows no mercy to any other gang that may pose a threat to him, so he wanted as many connections as possible, so when the time comes, it will be easy to gather information. 𝗏𝗏, alright then. I'll get to it. Say hi to Hitoshi and Toga for me when they get back, since I won't be around for a month. Izuku, alright, if you have any emergencies, you know my burner number. With that, 𝗏𝗏 left the room. Izuku sits there as he starts to think. Izuku, Hayes, Hitoshi is in UA, 𝗏𝗏 is now undercover in another group. The only person left I have with me is Toga. This is really starting to get lonely. I hope she comes back soon. With that, Izuku decided to go to bed. Scene changed to 𝗔𝗍𝗔 and the UA staff are in a meeting about the new Year 1 students. 𝗔𝗍, so this finalizes the new first years. Any concerns? Aizawa, yeah actually. I have a perverted grape, a short-fused nuclear bomb, and a kid who beat the zero-pointed bare-handed. I think I have the rights to be concerned. 𝗔𝗍, to be fair, the perverted grape's parents donated a lot of money to us, so would you rather be paid or not be paid? Aizawa, okay fine, but the first sign of him being a pervert I will expel him. 𝗔𝗍, now that you have mentioned it, I have taken quite some interest in the kid who beat the zero-pointed bare-handed, Hitoshi Shinso, if I'm not wrong. Vlad King. Yeah, that kid has mad power, why can't you put some of them in my class? Everyone ignores Vlad King's complaint. Power loader, what's his quirk? 𝗔𝗍 typed something on his keyboard as he read out. 𝗔𝗍, brainwashing. All Might, he doesn't even have a strength quirk. Just who is this kid? Aizawa, I like him already. Finally someone who can fight quirkless. Midnight, oh looks like Aizawa is naming a problem child. Aizawa, I can't neither confirm nor deny that statement. 𝗔𝗍, but it is true that Shinso here has very high potential. I hope you train him well Aizawa. Aizawa, sure will. All Might, wait, I'm just concerned that he may not be suited to be a hero, since his quirk can be considered villainous. 𝗔𝗍 and Aizawa immediately become slightly mad at his comment. Aizawa, oh yeah, I dare you say that again. Aizawa eyes glow red as his hair stands up. 𝗔𝗍, calm down Aizawa. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, though I said many times that quirkism is heavily illegal. Have you not learned from your past mistakes yet? Do you want a repeat of Izuku? Green Tornado flinched at the name Izuku as she lowered her head, and so did All Might. 𝗔𝗍, this concludes the end of the meeting, you all are dismissed. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, you stay behind. Everyone promptly left as they didn't want to be dragged into whatever 𝗔𝗍 plans to do. 𝗔𝗍, Hayes, I am seriously disappointed by you 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘. But I'm leaving that alone for now since we have bigger problems. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, what is it? 𝗔𝗍 typed some stuff on his computer as he drags up a file. 𝗎𝐻, we have leads on the BLD Tyrant. Scene change to Toga. Toga is currently handcuffed in an interrogation room in the middle of Tokyo. She had accidentally got caught while torturing someone in his apartment for information due to neighbors complaining about constant screaming. Of course, she could escape by herself, she is a trained escape artist after all. But she wanted to hang around just a bit more. As the door opened, a certain detective 𝗚𝐻𝐸𝐴 is revealed as he walks into the room. He is followed by another pro-hero, 𝗬𝐴𝐴𝐵, or Izawa. 𝗎𝐻 and All Might both are watching from behind a mirror to ensure their safety. Toga giggles at the detective, causing him to flinch. Toga, isn't this the company? She was ignored. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, what's your name? Toga, Pinkie Pie. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, that is an obvious lie. I'll ask again, what is your name? Toga, PFFF, you're no fun. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, look, we can do this the easy way or hard way, we just want you to cooperate for your own good. Toga, Himiko. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, last name. Toga, not saying. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, Toga, soon to be changed. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, to what? Toga, like I said, not saying. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, fine. Tell me everything you know about the BLD Tyrant. Toga, let's see. He leads one of the most powerful organizations in the underworld, is feared by many and is a nice person. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵 and 𝗬𝐴𝐴𝐵 look at each other before looking back at Toga, seemingly confused about the last part. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, is he your boss? Toga, no. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, that's true. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, do you know where is he at? Toga, somewhere in Japan. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, do you have contacts with him? Toga took a while and thought. Toga, no. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, that's true. 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵, okay, we are done here. Both the detective and Izawa leave the room as they meet up with 𝗎𝐻 on the other side of the mirror. 𝗎𝐻, looks like there isn't any new information. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔, damn it. She must know something. Anything. I'll interrogate her again. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔 beefs up into his All Might form as he fumes. Izawa quickly erases his quirk, returning him to just 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔. Izawa, you are not attacking a child. At this point Izawa was mad. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔, but she's a villain. Izawa, she is still a kid. Why can't that sink into your thick skull? Izawa screamed at 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔, who got a little frightened at the sudden outburst. 𝗎𝐻 and 𝗚𝐴𝐴𝐵 nodded their heads in agreement. Toga giggles as she barely feels Izawa screaming from the other room. Scene change to 𝐻𝐼𝐸. 𝐻𝐼𝐸 POV. Yippee, today is my first day at UA. Damn, I can't believe they actually accepted me after all the trouble I've caused in the exam. Luckily that boy saved me from the 0-pointer, or else I would have been crushed. I really want to meet him again. The hot abs, the chiseled jaw, the muscular body, the awesome hair, I think I may faint from image overload. As I walk into the class 1A, I immediately see a commotion. There was a blue-hair boy arguing with a blonde boy. I sigh as I walk over to a random seat. What's up? My name is Mina Ishido, what's yours? I got surprised at the sudden appearance of another girl in front of me. But I quickly got my calm back. Me, hello, nice to meet you Ishido, I'm Izuku Yagi. After that I greeted many other people as I introduced myself. I don't want to give anyone a bad reputation of me. Oh, it's you again. I turn around to see the guy who saved me standing right in front of me. Damn, he looks hot up close. Me, oh yeah, now that I think about it, I don't know your name. Hitoshi, oh I'm Hitoshi 𝗏𝗏𝗏, nice to meet you. Before I can introduce back I got interrupted. If you are here to make friends you can walk out of UA right now. A long-haired man suddenly popped out of nowhere inside what looks like a yellow sleeping bag. He looks more tired of life than a ghost. Izawa, I'm your homeroom teacher Izawa, now put on these and go meet in the field. After he said that he left. The class, including me, decided not to test his patience as we quickly get changed. Not going to lie, I found myself quite nervous about this homeroom teacher. Not only does he look strict, he didn't even mention about orientation. That's like the best part of a new school. As we found ourselves in the field, he spoke again. Izawa, we will be doing some physical tests to measure your current limit. The difference is that you can use your quirk. The top scorer Hitoshi 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, please step up. Hot Stuff stepped up to the teacher as he was handed a ball. He was told to throw this ball first without his quirk. Even with the gym uniform, I can see his muscle outline around his body, not bad. Aizawa, 103M. Everyone. What? Hitoshi, what's the issue? What's the issue? How did you get 100M without your quirk? That's insane. Aizawa, I would say throw it again with your quirk, but it wouldn't make a difference. Hitoshi, it will want me to prove it to you. Aizawa, then go. Suddenly, our teacher froze up as his eyes looks even more dead. I can see Hitoshi smiling for some reason. Hitoshi, throw this ball. What is he going? I doubt he can just ask our teacher to throw the ball just like that, and the teacher threw the ball. Of course. Aizawa, what happened? Hitoshi, I brainwashed you, sensei, and made you throw the ball. It did make a difference, you see. 74, 3M. Now at this point the whole class is stunned. I don't know what is more shocking, the fact that Hot Stuff there used his quirk to command a pro hero aka our teacher, or a pro hero doing worse than a student in ball throw. Well, either way, I like him. Aizawa, Hayes, don't ever do that again. Hitoshi, got it. The rest of the session went cough smoothly. I totally didn't just say something dumb causing the teacher to threaten one of us with expulsion. And I totally didn't accidentally hit on Hot Stuff during the test, earning a scolding from the teacher. Yeah, I definitely didn't. Anyways, it is finally over and the scoreboards are revealed. Hot Stuff placed first. Explosion Boy placed second. Ice and Fire Boy places third. And I placed 12th. Not too bad, I say. The last place person was a perverted grape. After he say he was last, he cried on the floor and begged the teacher not to expel him. What a loser. Either way, he got expelled. That's about concludes the first day. It was fun, I suppose. I can't complain much. Well, if there is one thing I'm not satisfied with, it's Hot Stuff never asked for my number. Mishiro, boss. We got a reply from the Yakuza. Mishiro ran into the big empty room screaming. Izuku was doing finance calculations as he heard the news. Izuku, that's good. What did they say? Mishiro, they sent us this letter. Mishiro hands the letter over to Izuku as Izuku tears off the envelope. Izuku got excited as he imagined how badly he will crush Overhaul when they meet up and save Eri. The letter reads, Dear Build a Tyrant, F you yours truly Overhaul 𝗧𝗜𝗧𝗟𝗘. Both of them went silent for a few seconds. Mishiro, shall I tear them apart limb for limb, boss? Izuku, no need, I will do it personally. Scene change to Overhaul. In the past, Overhaul just got done with his cough experiments when his right-hand man knocks on his office door. Overhaul, come in. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, I got a letter from the BLD Tyrants group. They apparently want an alliance with us. Overhaul rose his eyebrows and has doubts about it, asking 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 for the letter. He takes the letter and analyses it word by word. Overhaul, my guy, read it properly next time. They only want to have a meeting with us. Honestly, this looks very sketchy. Not only do they suddenly want a meeting with us, but on their soil. Who does the BLD Tyrant think I am? I won't fall for an obvious trap like this. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, but what if they actually want to discuss something important? Overhaul, I got nothing to discuss with those guys. They are so transparently evil that no one will want to partner up with them. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, isn't this a little hypocritical? So what do we answer back? Overhaul thought for a while. He then got a SHT eating grin as he said, Overhaul, just tell them to bugger off very rudely. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 didn't know what he meant exactly, but he isn't going to question Overhaul. He just left the office without causing more trouble as he wrote the reply letter. Scene change to Izuku. Mishiro, are you just going to ambush them? Izuku, not really. The plan I have will require distraction from the heroes or another villain organization. So it will be nice if, let's say, someone tip Overhaul off. At this point Mishiro finally got the message as she began to smile. She hasn't known the BLD Tyrant for long, but in the time span when she did, she had followed his thought pattern exactly, and this time is no different. Mishiro, got it, boss, she said before leaving the room. After she left, Izuku took the letter as he shredded it. With all his power before burning the remains in the fireplace, he got in the another room. Scene changed to Toga. There she is. In the back of a moving police van. The heroes left her to the police after interrogating her, and the police decided to transfer her to a low-security prison. Somehow she wasn't counted as a high-threat villain since she was a kid, which kind of ticked Toga off. She doesn't like that they doesn't recognize and fear her skill. In the back of the van, she was accompanied by only 2 police guards while she was only handcuffed. Toga decided that it was getting boring, so she was breaking out. Toga, hey Mr. Policeman, I need to pee. Guard 1, oh hold it in please, we are almost at the destination. Toga, but it's really urgent, do you have a bottle or anything? Guard 1, no we don't, I don't even know how you are going to use a bottle anyways. Toga, fine, then can you at least play some music to take my mind off it? Guard 2, sure, what music you like? Hip-hop. Toga, how about metal, death metal? Guard 1, what is 𝗧𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘? Toga immediate bite Guard 1 as both of the guards freak out. She drank some of his BLD as her body begins to change. Gray goo surrounded her whole body as she turns into Guard 1. Guard 1 immediately uses his freeze quirk and froze Toga's right arm. Toga, however, redirected the freeze to the chain in the 𝐻NDCFFS as the chain began to freeze. Guard 2 called in for reinforcements to their location as he tried to grab Toga. Toga used this opportunity to break the broken chains on Guard 2's head as the handcuffs snapped into 2, and rendering Guard 2 dazed. Toga then overpowered Guard 1 with both her hands as she jabbed his pressure point, rendering him immobile. Toga, it's been nice but I got to go, thank you for the nice treatment. Toga said as she kicked open the door and jumped out. She rolled on the ground to stop her momentum as she quickly ran towards the nearest BLD Tyrant base. After a while, Toga reached a Japanese-style looking in. She steps in as she approaches the counter. Counter clerk, how may I help you, miss? Toga, I will like room 413 for 2 nights, with extra room service. Counter clerk, yes ma'am. The counter clerk presses a button under the counter as a hidden trapdoor is unlocked in a separate room. Toga walked into the room as she dragged the carpet away, revealing a basement. Toga walked into the basement as goons stopped her from entry. Goon 1, name and password. Toga, Captain of Team Echo Toga, 010122022. The goons immediately realize who she was upon hearing the name as they bowed their heads to Toga. Toga brushed them aside as she walks into the room, revealing a large room with many supplies. Toga, leave me alone here, I got some business. The goons bow their heads as they leave the room, leaving Toga alone. Toga chuckled a little as she looked into a mirror, finding herself a little more bloody than usual and still in the appearance of Guard 1. Toga, so that's why the goons were so hesitant. Scene changed to Dabi and Tamura were speaking in a bar underground with Kurogiri cleaning some wine glass. Dabi, so you are saying you got a spy inside you? Tamura, yes indeed, and we are going to attack them on this date when they are vulnerable. Dabi, do we have more firepower? The 3 of us are surely not enough. Tamura, ho. You see I have what is known as a cheat code. Dabi tilted his head slightly confused. Tamura, I have a nomu. Dabi, and I'm supposed to know what that is. Tamura giggled a little as he drank another shot of orange juice. Tamura, I'll show you on the day itself. Dabi sighs as he looks at Kurogiri, who was still cleaning wine glass. Scene changed to Izuku. Izuku was on the phone with Hitoshi chatting about Hitoshi's life at UA. Izuku, wait, you beat Kaken up. Hitoshi, yeah, his ego got put back in place. Izuku, nicely done, but keep him alive, I want a round with him myself. Hitoshi, got it. Also there has been this brunette chick that has been trying to hit on me like every day. It's getting really annoying. Izuku, oh, someone actually digs you, that's lucky. Hitoshi, shut up beach, you know I'm not into girls. Izuku, yeah, we have gone through this debate before. Anything else actually important I should know? Hitoshi, oh yeah, my class is going to this place called USJ soon. It's still within UA grounds but the security there is nothing compared to the main UA campus. It's a good chance to attack them, All Might is coming also. When Izuku heard this brought a smile to his face. Izuku, time and date. Scene changed to Nizu. Toshinori, you get your butt into my office right now. Nizu screamed on the phone at Toshinori. A short while later, Toshinori appears in Nizu's office in his skinny form. 𝗎𝐻, how many times do I need to tell you, stop using up your time before coming to UA. You are a teacher now. Let the other heroes handle the hero work for God's sake. 𝗧𝗏, but the old lady couldn't cross the road. 𝗎𝐻 was visibly 𝗎𝐻, unless it's an emergency, I need you to save your time and work at UA as a teacher, or else I won't be able to protect you from the court anymore. I'm the only person keeping your and 𝗏𝐻 but from going to prison. So be grateful and listen to me. 𝗧𝗏, I understand. With that, 𝗎𝐻 dismissed 𝗧𝗏 as he checks the upcoming schedules. The next day was going to be 1A's trip to USJ with all might, so 𝗎𝐻 needed 𝗧𝗏 to make sure that he has enough time left. 𝗎𝐻, I hope that idiot actually knows he has a trip to USJ tomorrow. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, hello everyone. So the next part of this chapter will just be me writing a slice of life part for Izuku, so it has no plot relevance and it isn't canon. If you aren't interested, you can just skip it. Thanks for supporting this story. Oh, and also happy 2022. Scene change to Izuku in a park. Izuku was walking in Disneyland with Toga, Dabi, and Hitoshi. They have decided to take a group break due to overworking themselves. Toga is very excited since she has always wanted to go to Disneyland. Izuku was just happy to accompany his girlfriend to a place she loved. Dabi was only interested in all the roller coasters and food. Hitoshi was there because of peer pressure. Toga, oh look at Cinderella. Izuku, oh yeah it is. It doesn't look like her at all. Hitoshi, how much do they get paid just standing there? Dabi, never mind that, look at this giant turkey leg. Dabi said as he brought 2 turkey legs from the nearby food store. The turkey legs were dripping with its juices as the aroma filled the air. Izuku, oh nice. Izuku grabbed a turkey leg from Dabi as he and Toga both bite down on it at the same time. Izuku, my. Toga, so good. Hitoshi and Dabi shared the other turkey leg. When I mean share, it is more of Dabi savagely devouring the turkey leg while Hitoshi just tore off a small piece of try. The gang next went to the roller coasters. Dabi, Izuku and Toga went on it while Hitoshi looks after their stuff. Toga is quite scared of roller coasters, so Izuku held her hand the whole time throughout the ride. Dabi was just screaming in delight as it goes faster and faster. By the end of it, Toga had jelly for legs while Dabi wanted to go another round. Izuku just suggested they go to something else that Hitoshi can also join in on. Hitoshi thought for a while, then got an idea. The gang then went to a nearby Ferris wheel. Dabi looked at Hitoshi with a bruh face as Hitoshi remarks, Hitoshi, this gives me a break from the loud surroundings and actually relax a bit. Plus, you can eat your churros. Dabi instantly agreed. After hearing Hitoshi, while Dabi and Hitoshi were on the Ferris wheel, Izuku and Toga went to a water slide. It was those with giant waterfall drops that makes everyone make funny faces. Toga, once again, held onto Izuku the whole time as the raft slowly goes closer to the edge of the drop. Until finally, the time comes. Toga. Izuku. Oichiia. Both of them have wildly different reactions. In the end, the picture showed Toga with a scared face holding Izuku tightly while Izuku was enjoying the ride. The two blush at the photo as they made their way back at the Ferris wheel. They walk back to a blushing Hitoshi and a laughing Dabi. Izuku and Toga wondered what happened as they ask. Izuku, what happened? Hitoshi, why are you blushing so red? Hitoshi, what? I'm not. Dabi, don't sweat the small details, let's go to the next roller coaster. Dabi said as he walked into the distance, leaving a confused Izuku and Toga, and a very flustered Hitoshi. After a whole day for playing around and eating, the gang got tired as they decided to head back. Izuku and Toga had a blast. Dabi had a nice meal and Hitoshi had some nice fresh air. Izuku, that wraps up the day, let's head back, we have a organization to lead after all. Toga. Dabi. Hitoshi, yeah. Achiko POV. Today was the day of the supposed USJ training. Honestly, I'm not looking forward to it at all, it's so boring. But what if hot stuff here got trapped and I had to save him? That will make me look like a hero to him. And also repay a debt to him, but mainly hero. We got onto the bus and I made sure to sit right beside hot stuff to get extra affection points from him. He doesn't seem to mind since he just looked out the window the whole time, so I take that as a win. At the USJ, I watched Hobo-sensei and Pro Hero 13 guide us through the facility. They explained this and that, but I wasn't really paying attention. As we were about to go down to the first grounds, a giant shockwave spread throughout the USJ. I have no idea what was that, and even the teachers looked confused. The shockwave continued for quite some time as we all just stood here wondering what was going on. I heard Hobo-sensei tried to call the principal, but the signal wasn't going through, which was odd. Despite all this, hot stuff looks so cool and calm. I really want to know how he maintains it. Hobo-sensei then sent Tenya to run to UA to call for some teachers. He agreed, but as he was about to run out, the shockwave stopped. Suddenly, a purple mist appeared in front of us and blocking the door. Purple mist. Sorry, we had some interruptions, but now it's all fine. I shall introduce myself now. I am 𝗓𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, second in command of the League of Villains, pleasure being enemies. Oh no, this is bad. Hitoshi POV WTF. I thought Izuku was supposed to be attacking UA, not some video game knockoff group. Like seriously, League of Villains. It sounds so childish. Whatever, I'll let the teachers handle this. I'm way too lazy to deal with this. Although I will need to report this to Izuku later. Suddenly, a loud crash can be heard from the center of the USJ. I turn around to see a big black thing just laying there. Why is its brain exposed? That's actually disgusting. Although, it looks quite strong, but not strong enough. BZHReader had enough of me yet? A way too familiar voice echoed through the USJ. I turned to the direction, to see a green net pop out of the forest area. There is Izuku. Although he is covered in BLD and looks very mad. Izuku walked up to the black thing as he began to pummel the living hell out of it. The black thing wasn't even able to fight back as it received constant blows. Then, in all Izuku fashion, he grabs the exposed brain and begins to pull it. The black thing is clearly screaming in pain as shrieks of high-pitched noise spread the area. After a while, the bloody brain is pulled out by Izuku as the black thing goes motionless and the shrieking ends. Izuku is hardcore today. I look around to see my classmates, the teachers, and even the purple mist stunned. None of them were moving and instead focused on Izuku and the black thing. No, you cheater! Another voice shouted from the forest area as a crusty-looking man begins to charge at Izuku. However, Izuku being Izuku, effortlessly kicked him square in the face, knocking him into a bunch of trees. Krusty Man was now spitting out BLD as a Krusty Man-sized dent can be seen on the tree. Krusty Man, Dobby, help me. Dobby. As in our Dobby? No way, right? That can't be. Dobby will never betray us for some small-time gang. We founded the gang together, for God's sake. A charcoal-haired man then walks out of the forest, blue flames in hand. No. Why you betray us, Dobby? I loved you. Izuku, alright, time to end this. Do the honors. Dobby then shot his blue flames at Krusty Man, shocking me and the classmates around me. Suddenly, the purple mist appeared next to Krusty Man, blocking the flames, as shortly after they disappeared. Phew, Dobby didn't betray us. I knew that from the beginning actually. Never doubted him, not one bit. Also, someone most likely needs to clean this up, the whole place is very bloody. After witnessing everything, the teachers finally decided to man up and take action. Our homeroom teacher jumped down to confront Izuku and Dobby. RD person POV Izuku and Dobby were having a chat when suddenly Aizawa threw his scarf at Izuku. Izuku dodged it effortlessly though as he turns his attention to Aizawa. Izuku, whoa hothead, can't you see we are talking? Aizawa doesn't speak back as he uses his quirk on Izuku and charged at him. Seeing this, Dobby uses his flames to stop Aizawa from approaching as he tells Izuku to run away. Izuku waves Dobby off, telling him to stop using his flames. Dobby is confused until he sees Izuku going into a battle stance. Knowing this is bad news, Dobby runs away from the scene into the forest. Izuku, Eraserhead, how are you? Remember me? As Aizawa squints his eyes at Izuku, his face turns into one of utter shock. Aizawa immediately stopped running, stopping dead in his tracks. Aizawa? Izuku. The students watching the scene is confused at why Aizawa stopped well except for two. Izumi and Katsuki immediately turns pale as they realize the person facing Aizawa. Izuku. Oh yes, dear Uncle Aizawa. I'm glad you remembered me, considering it has been over a year since we saw each other. How have you been? Is Uncle Yamada all right? Izuku said this in a twisted and dark tone. The words he spoke were cold and shallow, conveying no signs of affections or care. Izawa, Izuku, we have been looking for you, why are you here? Izuku, it's simple, I wanted to attack UA but some clowns got in the way. Izawa, Izuku, did my SPRM donor not tell you? I'm the BLD Tyrant. This sentence echoed throughout the USJ, causing everyone to have chills. It was said with so much bloodlust that it will turn Nemuri off for once. Suddenly, a green-haired girl and blonde-haired boy appeared behind Izawa. Izumi, brother. Please come back, we miss you. Izuku, you miss me. Do you miss your little punching bag that much? Do you need another person to SHT on to make yourself feel better? In fact, how are you even in you? I thought 𝗔𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 finally did something with his brain and knew it will be better if you didn't come here. Katsuki, Deku, don't talk to your sister like that. Izuku, oh, Kaken is here too. Looks like I need to add you to my kill list too. This sent shivers down the spine of the two. Izuku, maybe I should thank 𝗔𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 instead. Gathering all my hatred in one place. There's only SPRM donor and egg donor left, how nice. Now, time to die. Izawa immediately snapped out of his fear and got into his battle stance. He knows Izuku is serious, or rather the BLD Tyrant is serious. This was going to be a life or death fight decided right here and now. Izuku, let the BLD reign. Izuku charges at Izawa with superhuman speed as Izawa erases his quirk. Even without Izuku's quirk, he is still fast and Izawa barely dodged his first kick. Izawa uses his capture weapon and threw it at Izuku. However, a swift knife slash cut it cleanly off as the momentum stopped. Izuku uses the remaining part to pull Izawa in, but Izawa stood firm as he binds Izuku's right arm. As Izawa approaches, Izuku suddenly threw the knife at Izawa's face. Izuku held the capture gear firmly so that Izawa couldn't dodge out of the way. Just as the knife was about to hit Izawa, the knife stopped moving as it floated mid-air. Izumi had used her quirk to stop the knife. Izuku used this chance pick up some dirt using his left hand and threw it at Izawa, causing him to blink for a moment. In this time, Izuku used his quirk's enhanced strength to rip the capture gear around his right arm and pulled Izawa in once again. This time, he couldn't resist it as Izawa tumbled to the ground. Izuku rushed the down Izawa with another knife as he prepared to stab the hero on the ground. Suddenly, Katsuki tackled Izuku to the side as both of them got thrown onto the ground. Izawa, Bakugou no! His shout was too late. Izuku had impaled Katsuki with the knife right in the back. He then began to beat the living daylights out of Katsuki while he was down as the knife began to deep further into his back. Izawa rushed Izuku, who was still pummeling Katsuki, until a huge gust of wind blew by. All Might, I am here. The door has been kicked open as All Might appears with multiple pro heroes. Apparently the moment Kurohige and Tamura left, the signal came back and 13 called for reinforcements. The moment All Might saw Izuku, his smile disappeared as it was replaced by pure anger. All Might, be Tyrant, your villainy ends today, he said as he jumps down to Izawa. Izuku saw his SPRM donor and many other heroes arriving as backup. It was now Izuku versus UA, which is bad for Izuku. Despite that, Izuku wants to have some fun. Izuku grabs Katsuki by the throat as he pulls out the knife on his back and presses it to his throat. The heroes watch in horror as Izuku takes a hostage. Izuku, one for step towards me and he dies. All Might. All Might, coward. Let him go. Izuku, why should I? Did he ever let me go when I begged him to? Did he ever stop beating me up when I begged him? Did Izumi ever stop? Well, newsflash, no one did. So why should I? A weakened Katsuki tried to escape Izuku's grasp, but all he ended up doing is make Izuku choke him harder. Izumi, brother, please let him go, we are sorry. Green Tornado, please Izuku. Inko, or Green Tornado, was at the verge of tears seeing the new Izuku, who didn't give 2 cents about everyone and anything. Izuku, you know what, fine, I'll let him go. Izumi, really? Izumi exclaimed happily and some hope was restored in the heroes. All Might tensed up ready to attack Izuku the moment Katsuki was let go. Izuku, but I'll keep a souvenir. Izuku's words echoed through the heroes' hearts as they feel something is wrong. Izuku suddenly gripped his knife harder as he slashed down on Katsuki. Katsuki! Katsuki screamed in pain, using up the last of his energy. Katsuki's left arm got cut cleanly off. It was now on the ground, drenched in blood. All Might, 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘. All Might lost his cool the moment the arm came out. He charged at Izuku, who threw Katsuki at All Might, stopping his attack. All Might caught the flying Katsuki and put him down, ready to attack Izuku. Izuku took this chance to run through the forest district of USJ, with a bulky All Might giving chase. The other heroes immediately tended to Katsuki, who was bleeding very fast from his X-arm. He had already passed out from shock, so the heroes quickly bandaged his arm and brought him onto an ambulance. Izuku evaded every attack from All Might, using his superior agility and smaller size to jump from tree to tree. Eventually Izuku found the initial hole in the wall where he entered as he escaped through there. Izuku lost All Might in the forest as All Might destroyed tree after tree to find him, but to no avail. The injured students and teachers were taken off USJ immediately and to a hospital. Hitoshi just looked from the sidelines, silently laughing at how hard Izuku just played All Might. In this round of Izuku's battle against heroes, it is Izuku's win. It has been 2 days since the USJ attack. Katsuki was in the ICU under heavy treatment. His lack of an arm had made his condition unstable and he will require quite a lot of time at the hospital. Meanwhile, 𝗎𝗓 and the staff are having a meeting at UA. 𝗎𝗓, I believe you all know why I called a meeting today. The staff nodded as 𝗎𝗓 continues. 𝗎𝗓, due to the recent attack by the BLD Tyrant and a group who call themselves the League of Villains in our school, we will need to tighten our security. I hope I can leave that to you, Majima. Power loader, on in. 𝗎𝗓, good. Now the main concern is the BLD Tyrant. He has gained a lot of attention in the media due to this, and there is no doubt that this attention will attract powerful people to his side. We managed to hide the fact that a student of ours lost an arm, but that isn't going to remain a secret for long. The main problem we are facing is that the Hero Commission wants the BLD Tyrant off ASAP. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, agree. We need him gone. He has hurt heroes enough. Hound Dog, you say that, but we don't have any leads on him, we don't even know his name. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 sighs. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧, I really wanted to keep this a secret for as long as possible, but now that push comes to shove, everyone needs to know. 𝗎𝗓, the BLD Tyrant is 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 son here. Everyone in the staff is shocked except for 𝗎𝗓, 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧, 𝗏𝗏, and Eraserhead. They all stare at 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧, waiting for an explanation. Present Mike, wait Shota. Why don't you seem shocked? Aizawa, Izuku told me when I fought him during USJ, plus I'm still trying to sort this out myself. 𝗎𝗓, indeed, before that, only 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧 and myself knows. I believe 𝗏𝗏 here figured it out herself when she saw Izuku. 𝗏𝗏, yes, it can't be anyone else. Vlad King, so what even if we know who he is, how will this help? 𝗎𝗓, well, an acquaintance of mine has a locator quirk that will show the location of someone if he digests some DNA of the person. And it just so happens that I have found some hair left by Izuku when he visited us. Aizawa, I won't even ask anymore. Vlad Kind, is that it? It's that simple. 𝗎𝗓, not really. Even if we know where he is still ridiculously strong along with his group. We will need to have a well-organized and secretive raid on their base. The BLD Tyrant has ears everywhere, so if he finds out, we are done for. I estimate this will take 1 to 2 months to prepare. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏, I see. In the meantime, I'll still try to find him manually, in case this acquaintance of yours can't be found. 𝗎𝗓, that is actually one too many acquaintance, but yeah, it's a good idea. The rest of you, I want you all to protect UA and our students. Do not let a repeat of USJ happen again. Everyone, understood. 𝗎𝗓, very well. Dismissed. Scene changed to Tamura. Tamura is currently smashing everything and anything in his underground bar, while Kurohige is trying to save as many wine glasses as possible. Tamura, damn it. that BLD Tyrant guy not only killed the 𝗏𝗡, he also stole the show on the media. Damn it. 𝗏𝗡 is fuming as All for One watches from the other side of the TV screen. 𝗏𝗡, and 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘 too. He works for him also and betrayed me. At this rate, I'm going to hate the BLD Tyrant more than All Might. FO, relax 𝗏𝗡. We just need to make our next attack succeed. And this time. But you are right, the BLD Tyrant is indeed annoying. FO really needs the BLD Tyrant gone. He used to be king of the underworld until he showed up one day. AFO didn't think much of Izuku back then, but within merely a few months, his name was feared more than AFO. As fate will have it, their first encounter happened soon after when the BLD Tyrant accidentally discovered his hideout. Since AFO was still weak at the time, he got his butt handed to him by Izuku. He only managed to escape due to him forcing an incomplete 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗪 to wake up and teleporting them away. He was forced to disappear from the underworld, leaving the BLD Tyrant to rule it. Needless to say, he also has a bone to pick with him. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, sensei, what can we even do? He is a cheater. AFO, I'll come up with a plan 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏, but for now, let's lay low. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 sighs as he destroys another wine glass to 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗪𝗔's dismay. Scene changed to Izuku. Izuku, haha. Did you see the expression on Kaken? That was priceless. Izuku was laughing as he talked about USJ with 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 shook his head since by then he had ran away. Izuku, still though, I was surprised the small-time group you joined turns out to be not all talk. However, I feel like I've seen that purple mist before somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏, I just know that Krusty has some unknown sponsor behind him. Although he refuses to show his face. Izuku, they pose no threat to us for now. We still need to be cautious though in case the sponsor turns out to be a big-time boss. Izuku poured another glass of sake to 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 as Izuku holds his cup up high. Izuku, to another day of living the best possible life we can. Cheers. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 cheers. A drunk Izuku and still somehow sober 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏 drank another round of sake as they catch up with each other. Suddenly, the door burst open. Toga, Izuku, how dare you not invite me to this party? Toga looks kind of angry as she stomps towards a drunk Izuku. Izuku, sorry bae, I didn't know you were at main base. Toga, I just came back so it is no surprise. But you should have called me at least. Toga was pouting as she sits beside Izuku. Izuku, my bad my bad. Izuku said as he pours another cup of sake for Toga. Toga doesn't like alcohol though and rejects it, opting for a cup for orange juice. The three of them then catches up with each other for the night until the early morning. Scene changed to Hitoshi. Hitoshi, why do I feel like I'm missing out on something important? Hitoshi shrugs it off as he continued his homework from UA. Scene changed to Katsuki. Katsuki POV growling, what happened? Where am I? Noisy. I wake up to see a white ceiling with wires attached to me and me wearing a ventilator. He's awake. Really? That's fast. I expected him to be out for another day. I look around to see a man in a white coat and a woman in white coat standing around me. I presume they are doctors. Suddenly, a sharp pain hits my left shoulder. I moved my right arm but my body feels weak to move. I look at my left side to find my arm missing. Oh yeah, that happened. Doctor, please lie back down, you are in no shape to move. Katsuki knows this since his whole body feels weak and sore. But he wanted to know something. Katsuki, can I call someone? You need rest. Katsuki, oh okay. /N, wait, why did you say no? Doctor, because it's logical. /N, yeah but I need plot. Doctor, take 2. Katsuki, can I call someone? Doctor, sure, what's the number? Katsuki, XXX3XXX9XX doctor, and done, it's ringing now. The doctor leaves the phone near Katsuki and puts it on speaker mode. Both doctors leave the room to give Katsuki some privacy. Kaken, you're fine. Katsuki, yeah Izumi, I'm alive for now. Izumi, great to hear. That's a huge relive for the class. Katsuki, look I'm dead tired but I got one question. Izumi, what is it? Katsuki takes a deep breath. Katsuki, did Izuku get caught? Izumi, no. Izumi sounded sad at the other end, her words filled with no energy. Katsuki, I see. Usually Katsuki will get mad, but this time he had no energy to be mad. Not only that, but his hatred for Izuku somehow just subsided. It was as if he knew deep down that he deserves this. He traded his arm for his life. Katsuki just felt weird that Izuku did that. He really thought that the BLD Tyrant would have ended him. Izuku could have, and in fact very easily. All Might couldn't stop him from chopping off his arm. What's the difference between that and lobbing of his head? Was it mercy? He didn't know, or rather he didn't want to know. However, one thing is for sure, Izuku didn't sound done at all. In fact, the may be the beginning. Katsuki, thanks Izumi, I'm going back to sleep now. Izumi, okay Kaken, take care. Katsuki raised his hand and pressed the end comm button. He began to lay back down on the hospital bed as he thought about this new Izuku he saw. Izuku is currently in a meeting with his captains. Around a round table is Izuku himself, captain of Team Alpha, Hitoshi, captain of Team Bravo, Citrus, captain of Team Charlie, Dabi, captain of Team Delta, Mishiro, and captain of Team Echo, Toga. Izuku, today's agenda is dealing with these asshats. Izuku says as he throws down a transparent folder on the table. On the cover page, there is a witch doctor masked man with mean-looking eyes. Overhaul. Dabi, the Yakuza. Izuku, they are torturing a young girl in there, I want to save her. Citrus, I thought you hated children. Izuku, yeah, but I kill them swiftly and without pain as much as possible. Overhaul is using this young girl to make money and drags, that's unforgivable. Mishiro, he does have a point. Izuku, I've told Mishiro the basic gist of our plan. Mishiro, can you share with the others? Mishiro, certainly. I've done a bit of investigation and found out that 70% of their income comes from a single warehouse in the middle of Kyoto. It is highly likely that is their storage area. I told a few of my subordinates to follow any vehicle that comes in or out of the location and found that many of them goes to a car park here. Mishiro said as she points to a projection of the area. Mishiro, the people there then goes into this location, which is a traditional-looking Japanese estate. They come out around 2 hours later with boxes and cargoes and loads then back on the truck and repeats the cycle. This usually starts from 11 p.m. at night until 5 a.m. in the morning. I am almost certain that the building is either their factory or their main base. Dabi, good work Mishiro, impressive as always. Mishiro blushes at this comment as she hides her face from Dabi. Toga, so when do we go stabby on them? Mishiro, well, that's the reason we called you all back. Unlike our previous operations, this isn't going to be an easy task. And assassination and abduction is a no-go due to their abnormally high security around the little girl. Thus, we will storm this place. Izuku, this way they can be gone once and for all. Toga, Citrus, let's see who can get more kills this. Citrus, oh ho, you are on Toga. Dabi, hey, don't forget me. Citrus, you don't count, you are always third place. Be a good lighter and burn down more buildings. Dabi, you beach. Citrus, oh yeah, hothead, you want some of this. Hitoshi, hate to spoil the party but there is a problem. Izuku, what is it? Hitoshi, there is already an agency searching for the Yakuza. It's the Night Eye agency led by 𝗔𝗍𝗍 I heard it from an upperclassman from UA who is interning with him. Mishiro, that could be troublesome if they find out we are also targeting them. Izuku, TSK. That's not the main problem, it's his quirk. The rest tilt their head in slight confusion. Izuku case. His quirk is called foresight. I don't know the details, but he can look into the future to a certain extent. The problem is if he uses his quirk on any Yakuza member, he can see when we are attacking and intervene according. It's 2 birds with 1 stone for him. Citrus, brah that Toga, so no stabby. Dabi, should I kill him first? Izuku, no, I highly doubt you can. He was once the sidekick of All Might after all, he got tricks up his sleeves. Even ambushing him will be quite hard since his reflexes are godly. Mishiro, so do we just call off the raid? I don't think we can counter him for now. Izuku, that may not be the case. I have a plan that may work, but is extremely dangerous if we are caught. It involves Hitoshi mainly. Hitoshi, Izuku, I know UA has an intern system once a semester. So I need you to intern with Night Eye and possibly assassinate him. But if he foresees it, you are doomed. It will also compromise your position at UANU. Hitoshi, who do you take me for, Izuku? I'm the best assassin around. Izuku, that I don't doubt, but do you really want to risk your position at UA? Hitoshi, I'm surprised how dumb you can be sometimes, Izuku. I'm far more loyal to you guys than UA. In fact, I'll betray them if you give me $10. I'm a villain, for God's sake. Dabi clapped his hand once for Hitoshi as Toga gave him a thumbs up. Citrus, is it settled? The moment Hitoshi assassinates Night Eye, we go kill the Yakuza. Izuku, yes, unfortunately we will need to delay. Toga, alright then, I'll change the schedule accordingly. Izuku, that is all, dismissed. Scene changed to Tamura. Tamura is currently eating lunch at a shopping mall. Yes, he can be normal if he wants to. He had a rough morning. First he woke up to find that his charger for his phone spoiled and his phone is sitting at a chill 3%. He tried to find a spare charger but found it all broken due to his previous rampage. He wanted to ask 𝗑𝐼𝐼 to buy one for him, but apparently 𝗑𝐼𝐼 had to go for his weekly maintenance since he was incomplete. When he asked Sensei about a spare charger, Sensei told him to go buy one from the mall, which was crowded. Tamura hates crowds. When he arrived during breakfast, he saw a very nice-looking fluffy pancake for sale at a nearby cafe. It was his favorite flavor, blueberry. But he realized if he were to buy it, he won't have enough money for the charger. He begrudgingly walked past the cafe and to the electronics store. When he entered, they had ran out of USB Type-C and only has lightning cable left. Needless to say, Tamura wasn't happy. He almost disintegrated the counter clerk and the whole store but somehow kept his cool. After walking around for an hour, he finally found an electronics store which sells Type-C cables and realized that it's going for twice the retail price. When he asked why, the clerk just said, "If it's too expensive then go buy somewhere else." Tamura cursed him internally but ended up buying the cable. Now he is pretty much broke. The funding for the LOV is subpar to say the least. He is now eating a single cinnamon roll bread for lunch as he sits on a nearby bench inside the mall. People are avoiding him due to his shady appearance, but he actually prefers it. "Is this seat available?" Tamura heard a voice spoke out to him. He looked up to see a gray-haired man with round glasses smoking a cigar. "Tamura, do what you want." Tamura didn't care in the slightest as long as the man didn't disturb his already horrible day. "It's been a while since I have seen you." The man said this directly to Tamura, which got his interest. Tamura has no idea who this man was and thought he was crazy. "Tamura, I don't even know you." "Makes sense. The last time I contacted your MSTR was when you were still a boy. He told me that you are his successor in the future." Tamura didn't sense that this guy was lying, so he replied. "Tamura, you know Sensei." "Yeah, used to be business partners back in the day, but ever since he started to raise you seriously, I've never heard from him since. All for One is a busy man after all." Tamura now confirms that he knows Sensei. "Tamura, who are you?" The man took out the cigar from his mouth as he exhaled a puff of smoke. He stands and bows as he says, "Jiren at your service." Scene changed to Nizu. Nizu is currently walking in a ghost town in Osaka. He is accompanied by Aizawa and Tashinori, who both act as bodyguards for him. "Nizu, this is the place." Nizu knocks on the door 3 times, with the third knock being slightly louder as a signal for the man inside. "I paid my rent already, go away." A voice of a grumpy old man was heard shouting from the other side of the door. Aizawa and Tashinori both look at each other, wondering if Nizu had become some sort of debt collector. "Nizu, you are mistaken, sir. We are here to enlist your services." Sure. A few heavy footsteps later, the door slightly opens to reveal the person inside. The old man peeked his head through the little creak as he examines the 3. "Old man, a mouse, another homeless guy, and a skinny guy. Y'all don't look rich to me. My services are expensive. Any broke people won't be able to afford it." Just as the old man was about to shut the door, Nizu spoke. "Nizu, if it's money you need, it's money I have." Nizu proceeds to take out 10 $100 bills from a suitcase he brought along as he puts it in the door creak. The old man's eyes widen at the money as he swings the door wide open. Old man, oh my bad, I didn't know you are the real deal. Come in, come in. Aizawa, bruh. The three walk inside the house, which was dimly lit with not many furniture or decors. The wooden table looks like it was rotting from old age, and the chairs were held together by duct tape. Old man, so what may I do for you? 𝗎𝗓𝗓, I will like someone to be tracked. Old man, since you came here, I'm sure you know the rules. I need to ingest a piece of the DNA of the person. Anything is fine, from hair to saliva to well you know. 𝗎𝗓𝗓, yes, we have a piece of his hair. The old man sighs in relief. 𝗎𝗓𝗓 brings out a test tube filled with one strand of green hair and presents it to the old man. The old man proceeded to pour the hair into his mouth as he drank some water to swallow it. 𝐴/N. Don't do this, kids. The old man's eyes begin to shine some light as he quickly grabs a pen and paper and starts drawing. The three look at the old man hastily draw down a picture of Izuku's geographical location as his eyes slowly begin to turn back into normal. The old man finishes up the drawing as he passes it to 𝗎𝗓𝗓. Normally, it will be near impossible for a normal person to find the exact spot given only a picture of the place. But this is 𝗎𝗓𝗓 we are talking about. 𝗎𝗓𝗓, thank you sir, here's the payment. 𝗎𝗓𝗓 places down a suitcase full of $100 bills in front of the old man as the old man begins to count the money. The three leaves the house as Aizawa closes the door. Aizawa, that was quick, not that I'm complaining. 𝗎𝗓𝗓, yes it was. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, so where is he? 𝗎𝗓𝗓 smirks as he said. 𝗎𝗓𝗓, right under our noses. Day by day, the name BLD Tyrant spreads its fear across the hearts of folks. Day by day, the BLD Tyrant gains more control of the underworld. Day by day, heroes get killed by the group the BLD Tyrant leads. And finally, day by day the BLD Tyrant is eating sushi. Izuku realized that he was getting skinny from skipping meals multiple times a day to do his cough work. When Toga mentioned it to Izuku, Izuku shrugged it off saying it ain't affect him. Now look who's laughing now. A day later Izuku was found in his room suffering from hunger pangs. Toga tried to help Izuku up, but Izuku could barely stand let alone walk. And this is how Izuku is now being forced to eat sushi every day made by Toga. He didn't mind the food at all, but it just took up too much of Izuku's time. Toga, and for today, we shall be having sashimi. Izuku, no rice. Toga, I forgot to cook it tea. Toga quickly brings out some fresh fish that she just bought from the market. She polished her knife as she began to slice the fishes. Toga, first off, the classic salmon. Izuku, where's the soy sauce? Toga, oh yeah, we ran out yesterday, I forgot to buy it. Izuku, 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗓, I guess I'm just eating raw fish today. Izuku uses his chopsticks as he grabs the slice of salmon and eats it. Izuku, you can't go wrong with salmon. Toga, I know, that's why it's a classic. The pair finishes the salmon slices they had as Toga takes out the next fish. Toga, next up, another popular one, tuna. Izuku takes a slice of tuna as he eats it. Izuku, did tuna always taste so slimy? Toga, what are you talking about? This tuna is great. Izuku, I think every time I eat tuna sashimi, the soy sauce hides this slime texture. Toga, I really don't know what are you complaining about, but since you don't like it, I'll finish it. Toga then proceeded to finish the tuna slices. Toga, next up is swordfish. Izuku, oh interesting. Izuku takes a piece and eats it. Izuku, tastes alright, nothing too special. Toga, yeah, it's alright. Both of them finishes the swordfish. Toga then began to slice up for fish for Izuku to try as the pair ate most of it. But Toga wasn't done yet. She had some stuff planned. Toga, time for the specials. Izuku, specials. Toga takes out something from the bag. Toga, special number 1, BLD sausage. Izuku, what the? Toga, let's give it a shot. Izuku, it looks disgusting. Toga, but it may taste good. Izuku, fine. Both of them took a bite out of the BLD sausage, with Toga taking a bigger bite than Izuku. Izuku, I don't like it. Toga, the BLD tastes really old and stale. It doesn't really have the richness of fresh BLD. Izuku, BLD expert are we? Toga, next item. Toga went to dig around in the plastic as she brings out a single white egg. Izuku, that's just an egg. Toga, yes but also no. This is a century egg. Izuku, nope, I'm not doing that. Toga, why? Izuku, Dabi told me how disgusting that is. And if Dabi doesn't eat it, I certainly won't. Toga, come on, you never know unless you try. Izuku, no. Toga, please. Toga uses her signature puppy eyes at Izuku. It was super effective. Izuku, Haze, fine, only for you. Toga peels the egg as she cuts it in half. Izuku then proceeded to cut a little tiny piece from his half as both of them eat the egg. Izuku immediately regrets as he puke out the egg into a paper towel. Toga also found it weird but she ate it nonetheless. Izuku, no more specials, I can't take any more. Toga, ah man. I saved the best for last. I guess I have to eat it myself then. As Toga said that, she took out a tub of ice cream from her bag. Izuku, wait, you got ice cream? Toga, yeah, but since you don't want it, I'll eat it myself. Izuku, no, gimme some. The rest of their lunch break was spent eating ice cream. Is it healthy? Do they regret it? Definitely not. Scene change to Katsuki. It has been a week since Katsuki lost his arm. He is currently visiting the support department of UA to find a certain someone. Katsuki walks into the class as he sees 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 teaching his class. 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘, you need anything? Katsuki, yeah, is there a 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗡 in this class? 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧's face immediately turned into a frown as he punched the bridge of nose. He pointed his thumb to the left as he said, 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧, she's in the classroom next door. Be careful. Katsuki was slightly confused at his words but decided to pay no mind to it. He walked to the classroom as he sees the door. Katsuki, danger, explosion warnings. Katsuki sighed as he realized this was going to be a long ride. He reached for the doorknob to prepare his entry into hell. Suddenly, a loud explosion can be heard from inside as the door bursts open. A pink-haired girl rushed outwards as she tackled Katsuki to the ground. Katsuki got caught off guard as she landed chest first on him. Katsuki panicked as he instinctively used his explosion on Mei, causing her to flinch. Mei got up as she helped Katsuki up, but he rejected. Katsuki, are you 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏? Mei, that's me alright. Katsuki, I'll cut to the chase, I need a prosthetic arm. I heard you make some good DZHReader so I came to you. Mei, don't call my babies 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗏 Katsuki, I call them what I want to call them. Now are you going to do it for me or not? Mei didn't respond with a word. She equipped her goggles as she began to examine Katsuki's left side. She took out measuring tape from her utility belt as she began to measure Katsuki's stub. After a while, Mei took off her goggles as she spoke to Katsuki. Mei, I should be done in around a week. In the meantime, I got some questions to ask you. Katsuki, oh thanks I guess, what is it? Mei, how did you even lose an arm? Katsuki, by now, it has been common knowledge that a student from UA was attacked and lost an arm. But it seems that Mei didn't know. Katsuki didn't want to answer but instead avoided the question entirely. Katsuki, do I need to pay you or anything? Mei, nope. I do this because I can and it's fun. If you want to repay me, you can help me fix the door. Mei points to the now busted door that fell over. Katsuki wondered what can be happening inside there to bust open a reinforced high-grade steel alloy door. Katsuki, sure. With that, Katsuki and Mei began to fix the door. Scene change to Overhaul. Overhaul is currently trying to figure out the formulae for a Quirk erasing drag when suddenly he heard a knock on the door. Overhaul, come in. His right-hand man 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 came in as he bowed to Overhaul and sat down. Overhaul, what is it? 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, all for one contacted us. Overhaul, I see, wait what? 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, all for one contacted us. Overhaul, you sure it's him? 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, yes. Overhaul, not that I don't trust you, but all for one has been gone for over a year now. Not a single underworld person has heard, seen, smelled, or even tasted him. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, you forgot touch. Overhaul, not the point. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, well I have a 99% certainty that it is him at least. He has placed an extra quirk on one of our boys that allowed him to telepathically communicate. The boy is currently locked in a soundproof room. Overhaul, that is troublesome. Does he want anything from us? 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘. He said he wants to have a meeting in person. The location is 2 a.m. next Tuesday at 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 warehouse. Overhaul, that's suspiciously close to where we are. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, do you think it's an ambush? Overhaul. It may be. I'll bring extra members along just in case then. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, so you are going? Overhaul. Of course, if it's the real All for One, this will be a great chance to team up with him. With his help I can finally get rid of the menace. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, which is? Overhaul, the BLD Tyrant. He has tilted the delicate balance of the power system in the underworld. Each commander has enough power to take on organizations. You add them together, you get something that you don't want to mess with. This is just too much power. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, true. Even our Yakuza isn't having much influence anymore. But on the bright side, we don't have to worry about heroes on our tails. Overhaul sighs as he recounts the time when the Yakuza is actually a threat. Now it has become nothing more than a library club. Scene change to 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 is having coffee with 𝗧𝗏𝗧 in the underground bar. After a while of chatting, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 led 𝗧𝗏𝗧 back to see All for One as per 𝗧𝗏𝗧 request. The TV turns on as it shows a text saying audio only. FO, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 long time no see, how are you? 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, I am doing great All for One, how about you? AFO, I could be doing better, still currently in a stasis chamber. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, oh dear, that is truly a shame. I wanted to meet you in person. FO, that will have to wait sadly, so what brings you here? 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, I was hoping we can do some business. FO, oh what type? 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, I got a few lost souls that will love to work for someone like you, and I think you almost will need more manpower moving forward. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏, I don't want scrap villains 𝗧𝗏𝗏. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 seems unhappy that he is getting more annoying brats. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏, don't worry, they will be good pawns for you 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. FO, that is quite the proposal. Since we lack manpower anyways, let's accept it. What do you say 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏? 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏, Tisk's fine, but if I don't like them, I'll kill them. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏, perfect. I will tell them to arrive here in the next few days. As for the service charge, you can leave it in the usual spot. FO, don't worry, the doctor will get it settled as usual. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏, who is the doctor sensei? FO, an ally of mine. You don't have to worry too much 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, pleasure doing business. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 smirks as he takes his leave. AFO floats in his stasis chamber as he awaits his visitors. He had instructed 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 to teleport them directly to him while 𝗧𝗏𝗏 acts as a witness to the meeting. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 is just vibing. A few moments later, 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 appeared in his portal form in AFO's room. Two people steps out of the portal as they look around the room lit with only a single LED light bulb. Overhaul, I assume you are All for One. FO, that is right. I am the one known as All for One. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, mind telling us why you called us for a meeting? AFO, I believe we have common interest in taking down a particular person. You see, he has defeated me a year back and I cannot just ignore him. But I lack the manpower to do so right now. So if you help me, not only will we rule the underworld together when he falls, I shall also grant you both an extra quirk. Overhaul, really now? I didn't know you were the type to share power. FO, desperate times call for desperate measure. Right now our enemy is the BLD Tyrant. Overhaul, I see. I accept your terms. FO, very well. Then we shall first meet our new teammates. FO instructed 𝗓𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 to bring the new recruits of the LOV into the room. Soon after, multiple people walk in and line up in a row. They then began to introduce themselves. Mr. Compress. Hello gentlemen, I'm known as Mr. Compress. Twice, I'm twice/I'm once. Spinner, name Spinner, nice to meet you. The three of them said as they bow towards Overhaul. Overhaul, I'm Overhaul, and this is 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, pleasure to be acquaintance. FO, now that's out of the way, let's start with strategy talk. Overhaul, with pleasure. Scene change to Katsuki. Katsuki just woke up from a surgery table as he looked around. The first thing he noticed was the strange smell the room was emitting. It just smelt like crude oil. The second thing he noticed was both his arms were tied down to the table. Yes, 2 arms. His left arm is now a mechanical arm. The door opens to reveal a very tired May and power loader walking in. 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘, you woke up faster than we thought. Katsuki, what time is it? 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘, only 2 hours after we are done with your surgery. I expected 4. Katsuki, can you get me up? Mei, sure, let me help. Mei said that without the energy she has. Katsuki, why do you look so tired? Mei, we have been doing your surgery for 11 hours straight, we only got a nap just now. Mei said as she removed the bindings on Katsuki's arms. Katsuki sat up as he moves around his left mechanical arm. He noticed that there are some add-ons to the arm. Mei, I'll give you a rundown on your new left arm on what it can do. Mei said as she takes out a notepad. 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 is drinking coffee as he watches them. Mei, first off, as you can see, I've added a storage system near the tricep to collect your sweat. This can collect up to 500 milliliters of sweat and it is connected to 2 outputs. The first is your palm, which has a low-velocity nozzle but a large opening area. This basically replicated your Quirk on your left hand. Katsuki lifts his left hand as he looks around the area, seeing exactly what Mei described. The palm indeed had an opening that can be toggled to open and close. Mei, the second add-on is one I'm very proud of. There is also a tube leading to a small nozzle in your index finger. It is a high-velocity pump with a 2 mm opening. It's basically a sniper for your sweat. At max power, it goes up to 100 m, but the recoil is large too, so I suggest you only put on 20% power usually. Katsuki bends his index finger to reveal a high-powered nozzle that Mei described. He is very pleased with this newfound power as he shoots a jet of sweat at the ground without exploding it, of course. Mei, there are some extra details that 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 here has also added. Your grip force exceeds over 100 kilograms, but we have capped it at half power unless it is in a case of emergency. You can also dislocate your arm in case of severe damage or getting stuck. Last important thing is that we have stored a small dagger in your forearm that you can use when needed. Katsuki was impressed at the work Mei and 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 had done for him. He also wondered how did Nizu approve this. 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘, just come back for maintenance and check up once a week and you should be fine. Just don't be too rough with it at the start. Mei, also, there are some minor details about that arm in this notepad. It contains rate of sweat buildup, force needed to bend or break the arm and all that. I'll give it to you in case you want to read. Mei said as he throws the notepad at him. Katsuki catches it with his left hand and accidentally crushes it. Katsuki, oops. Mei, it takes time to get used to it, don't worry. 𝐴/N. For those who didn't understand, basically Katsuki became Genos from One Punch Man for his left arm. Scene changed to Hitoshi. Hitoshi had a rough few weeks. First he had to take part in the sports festival when he certainly would rather sleep. Then he had to deal with Shoto asking him whether he is Aizawa's son. Then he had to fight with the Icy Hot for first place in the sports festival since Aizawa threatened him with expulsion if he held back. Surprisingly though, he didn't have to encounter a certain angry Boom Boom Man from the whole duration of the sports festival. Apparently he had to get something done with his missing arm or something. Finally it was the time for him to relax, right? Nope. Aizawa, today, we will be settling your internships which will start tomorrow. Hitoshi, what a drag. Aizawa lights up the screens as it shows the number of requests everyone got. Hitoshi, 1,204 Shoto, 1,093 Tokoyami, 834. The class was amazed at Hitoshi getting so many requests from agencies, but Hitoshi ignored them all. Hitoshi already knew which agency he is going to choose, since he has a job to do. Aizawa, once you are done choosing, fill up this form and pass it to me by the end of school. That's it for homeroom. Aizawa said as he goes back to sleep. Hitoshi takes his form as immediately wrote down the Night Eye agency as he puts the paper on Aizawa's desk. As he was going back to his desk, he was stopped by a certain brunette. Achiko, hey Hitoshi, which agency did you choose? Hitoshi, not you again. Night Eye agency. Achiko, oh I see. Hitoshi, why? Achiko, oh nothing much. Achiko said as she returned to her seat. Hitoshi had a slight idea what's going on, but he prays that it won't come true. Hitoshi goes back to his seat as he prepares to take a nap on the table. When suddenly, the door burst open to reveal a Pomeranian. Oops, false alarm, it's only Katsuki. The whole class excluding Hitoshi looks at Katsuki for the first time in a few weeks as they cheer his return. Katsuki, now with a smaller ego, just ignores them as he returns to his seat. His mech arm aside, he seems to be doing just fine. Hitoshi kind of was upset he got an replacement arm since it looks kind of dangerous. But if worst comes to worst, he can always disarm Katsuki himself anyways. Scene change to Izuku. Izuku is currently planning another attack on UA. However, this time he will be targeting a student in particular. Izuku, we will be killing 𝗫𝗫𝗧𝗪𝗓. Izuku announced to his captains. Mashiro, why him? Izuku, Hitoshi has informed me about this 𝗫𝗫𝗧𝗪𝗓. After Ingenium has been attacked by the hero killer, he has a very obvious attitude change. He has also informed me he is going to Hosu for his internship, likely seeking revenge for his brother, making him an easy target. Citrus, so is this my job? Izuku, that will be correct. Citrus, I'm entrusting you with this since you have the best matchup against 𝗫𝗫𝗧𝗪 if he intervenes. Citrus, alright boss, just tell me the date and I'll go. Izuku, I'll tell you later, but now we have another more important issue. There has been suspicious movements of the Yakuza and League of Villains. My network says that they have had a secret alliance. Hitoshi, that's concerning. Dabi, having been the League for a while, I didn't think that they will have an alliance with the Yakuza. Considering the leader hated the Yakuza. Izuku, it's probably someone pulling the strings from behind. The unknown sponsor probably who we don't know yet. Toga, do you want me to spy on them? Izuku, no, that's too risky. I rather we do this remotely. Mashiro, can I count on you? Mashiro, yes boss. This made Toga pout a little, but seeing Izuku replying on another girl. Izuku, alright, that should be it for today. Now who's up for poker? Everyone cheers as they finally got a break from meetings. In the end, Izuku won over $500 from the captains due to his superior brain. Hitoshi has been interning with 𝗓𝗍𝗧𝗪 for the past 2 days. He has observed everything and anything about him. From his ideal coffee to his how many times he adjusts his wristwatch, Hitoshi knows it all. He now has a psychological profile of the man. He knows the way he talks, he knows the way he thinks. This is why the assassination is going to be an easy one. Well, it should have been if not for a clown. Achiko, Hitoshi, sir told us to go do some paperwork, hurry up. Hitoshi, I hate you. Coming. An unexpected factor had came in. Achiko decided to intern with 𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗧𝗪 too. Hitoshi found this as one of the worst outcomes. This is because she would constantly follow him around wherever and whenever. Hitoshi swears that secretly she has collected some of his hair. With this annoying person potentially ruining his plan, Hitoshi needs to keep his guard up at all times. His plan was simple. On day 4 of the internship he will fake being sick and take a day off from the internship. He will also spite Achiko's drink in advance with a slow-working laxative to make her feel bad on the day itself. Then on day 5, he will kill 𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗧𝗪 and everyone in the office to make sure there are no witnesses. After that he will have some of his goons to occupy the building to make it seem like it was an assault on the building instead of an assassination. Simple plan, but not that simple execution. The toughest part was probably killing 𝗓𝗍𝗪𝗧𝗪 himself. But worst comes to worst, he will call Dabi for reinforcements. Achiko, what's wrong, Hitoshi? Hitoshi just realized he was in deep thought as he snaps back to reality. Hitoshi, I hate you. Nothing. Scene change to Citrus. Citrus is currently running in alleyways in Hosu. He is trying to find the damn hero killer before the official date of his attack on 𝗫𝗫𝗧𝗪𝗓. In his calculations, the hero killer needed to be dealt with ASAP to avoid an unnecessary confrontation on the day itself. Suddenly, a sharp knife is thrown at him from the side. He senses this as he barely dodged the knife in time. Citrus immediately knows who is it as he turns to face the direction. Stain, Hori, I've never seen you before. You look strong though. Citrus, my name's not important, I was sent to end you, so prepare for a fight. Stain, interesting proposition, but alas, your arrogance ends today. Stain approaches Citrus as both of them got into their battle positions. Stain charges at Citrus with his jagged katana as he slices his sides. Citrus saw this coming as he leaps over the katana and kicks Stain in the head. This knocked 𝗧𝗓𝗏 back a little bit as 𝗧𝗓𝗏 prepares another slash. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟 does a backflip as he lands slightly further away. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 suddenly wall runs and closed the distance between the two. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 got caught off guard as he got slashed in the arm. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 immediately got behind him as he his blade. In an instant, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 got onto the ground as his body stopped moving. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 slowly walking towards the down 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, any last words? 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, tell Dragon I love her. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, who's Dragon? Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, Dragon 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. Before 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 can finish the sentence, 𝗧𝗓𝗏 stabs him in between the eyes to shut him up for good. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, but just as 𝗧𝗓𝗏 is about to leave, he noticed another presence. A man walks out of a shadow as 𝗧𝗓𝗏 looks at his in confusion. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, miss me? 𝗧𝗓𝗏, wait, what, you're dead? Your corpse is literally here. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 said as he points at the dead body of supposedly 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 on the ground, still wearing smug expression from the dragon joke. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, it's the works of my Quirk. Like it? The alive 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 teases 𝗧𝗓𝗏. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, whatever, you go down easy anyways. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 immediately starts wall running as he rushed 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 ducks down, avoiding a swing from the katana as he punched 𝗧𝗓𝗏 in the jaw, dazing him. However, 𝗧𝗓𝗏 counters by kicking 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, knocking him back. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 then slashes 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, opening a big wound in his chest. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 falls down as he clutches his chest in pain. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 shows no mercy this time as he lobs off his head, letting it roll down the alleyway. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, finally. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, ready for round 3. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 turns his head to find another 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 walking towards him nonchalantly. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, you know what, I'm getting sick of this. Show your real self, coward. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 giggles as he takes off his jacket and goes into a boxing stance. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, make me. However, as per the previous fights, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 doesn't last long against 𝗧𝗓𝗏 as 𝗧𝗓𝗏 easily wipes the third 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 out in an instant. There are now 3 identical bodies on the ground, one with a severed head, one with 2 missing eyeballs, and one with a knife wound in the chest. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, I swear if there is one more of you. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, you called? 𝗧𝗓𝗏 throws a throwing knife at the 4th 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, earning him a headshot and killing the 4th. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, oh, that looks painful. A 5th 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 emerges from behind the 4th as he looks at the throwing knife. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, I'm sick of this. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 prepares to jump away but felt something grab his leg. He looks down to see a hand grabbing his leg. It was 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏's hand. 𝗧𝗓𝗏, what the? Before 𝗧𝗓𝗏 knows what's going on, the 4 dead 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏s began to rise up. Their bodies began to act like zombies, attacking and rushing 𝗧𝗓𝗏. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 couldn't react in time as he got surrounded by 4 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏s, getting mauled and bitten by the 4. He stabbed one of the 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏s through the heart, but it didn't work. It still continued to maul him. His skin and flesh are getting torn apart by the 4 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 zombies. The 5th 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏s just watches the whole thing as he laughs at the sight. He walks close to 𝗧𝗓𝗏 as he speaks. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, I'll let you in on a secret. My quirk is called replication necromancy. With that, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 walks away, leaving 𝗧𝗓𝗏 to get torn apart limb by limb. 𝗧𝗓𝗏 breathes his last breath as he fell down onto the ground, his body giving in to blood lost. After that, the 4 dead 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏s fell onto the floor as though like life has left them. The corpses became corpses once more. Was 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 the real 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 or just a reanimated zombie? No one will know. Only the real 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 and Izuku knows how to distinguish the real and fake. Scene change to Hitoshi. Hitoshi is currently on his mission to kill 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. His request to take leave due to sickness was already approved, so that just leaves killing the hero himself. Hitoshi jumps into 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏's building through a toilet window. His goal is to kill 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 before the others in the office notice, then send in his goons to finish the rest off. According to Hitoshi's profile of 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, he should be taking a nap right about now in his office. It wasn't a long nap, only around 30 minutes, but still more than enough time to kill him with. He is currently wearing his villain costume, so no one will recognize him. Hitoshi quickly dashes into 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏's room. Luckily, no one saw or heard him since he is a professional. Hitoshi closes the door as he sees a sleeping 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 just there, head on his desk. Hitoshi slowly walks up to 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 as he takes out his knife. Suddenly, Night-Eye springs up as he grabs Hitoshi's hand. Night-Eye stares at Hitoshi but couldn't use his quirk due to Hitoshi's mask. Hitoshi wasted no time to take out his second blade as he stabs Night-Eye in the arm. Night-Eye backs up as he pressed an alarm hidden under his desk, sounding an alarm in the building. Night-Eye then threw heavy paper weights at Hitoshi, which he dodged effortlessly. Hitoshi then charges in with his knife to stab Night-Eye, but Night-Eye dodged and counters Hitoshi with a punch. Hitoshi knew his time was running out, so he had to gamble this fight on using his quirk. He just needed to say something that may get Night-Eye to respond. Anything can be good. Luckily, he knows what to be said. Hitoshi, do you know Dragon wants your head gone? Night-Eye, who's Drag? With that, Night-Eye is under Hitoshi's control. Hitoshi quickly dashed up to Night-Eye and shoves a dagger through his heart, saying, Hitoshi, dragon this knife through your heart. With that, Hitoshi has completed his mission as he jumps out of the window. The rest is for his goons to handle as he called for his goons to storm the place. Night-Eye lay on the ground, dead. Blood dripping from this heart as his eyes look up at the ceiling, where an All Might poster was. Scene change to 𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘 is currently having a heart attack in his office. Okay, not really, but he might as well have. He is hyperventilating and pace walking around his office pondering about the recent events. News came in that 2 days ago, the hero killer Stain got murdered and found dead in an alley with 4 other identical-looking people. Then 1 day ago, the hero Sir Night-Eye and his agency got wiped out by the goons of BLD Tyrant. The building is currently being investigated for clues that might lead to the identity of the culprits. In only 2 days, powerful people are getting wiped out left, right, and center. Now heroes all around Japan are being forced to go patrol in pairs in case of another surprise attack by the BLD Tyrant. Agencies are also required to have a minimum of 2 rank 100 hero or 1 rank 50 or above hero in the agency to ensure absolute safety. Achiko and Hitoshi are getting bombarded by interviewers trying to leech off their experience due to them being interns at the recently wiped out Night-Eye agency. UA is currently keeping both of them in temporary boarding schools to prevent vultures from getting to them. In any case, the internship of many Hero Corps students are being cancelled due to the agency they are interning at not meeting the new requirements. The Police and Hero Commission are also toughening their stance on villains, but specifically the BLD Tyrant. 𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘 doesn't have much of an option this time when it comes to what to do. Usually he will think of a solution and counter his problems before it even happens. But this time, he couldn't trace or even predict this happening. The Izuku he once knew from Toshinori has changed too much for him to comprehend. After the ordeal, many UA students are being forced back to school for the rest of their internship due to safety reasons. This includes 𝗪𝗓𝗓, which, unbeknownst to him, saved his life from the BLD Tyrant. They are currently just doing full heroics class with Aizawa, with also include Katsuki, who has to get used to his new arm. 𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘 now stopped his pacing as he sat back down on his desk. He pulled out a secret file he has been keeping for weeks as he called the number on it. Hello. 𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘, we need your help. You don't say, the Hero Society is now under so much 𝗔𝗍𝗪𝗔. Please lend us your strength, we need you to capture him, Gran Torino. Gran Torino, TSK fine, getting out of retirement to deal with Toshinori's problem. Izuku is watching the news with his captains. Izuku, ha, nicely done Hitoshi. You didn't compromise your position, right? Hitoshi, nah, I didn't. I doubt 𝗔𝗍𝗧𝗟𝗘 or the police suspects me. Just in case though, I also made that beach sick on the day too. Toga, poo. Hitoshi, just an annoying but that keeps pestering me, you don't need to know. Dabi, anyways. Citrus also did a good job, Stain stood no chance. Izuku, agree. But now, finally our main business. Let's kill Overhaul. Captains, yes boss. Scene change to Overhaul. Overhaul just got his new recruits in from AFO. They were temporary members who stayed with Overhaul as a sign of alliance between the two. The new members are Twice and 𝗎𝗎𝗎. Twice is currently being shown around the area by Chronostasis. Both of them actually get along well together due to both sharing internal struggles. 𝗎𝗎𝗎 is sparring with Rappa since both of them think they are the strongest. The score is 3-3. Overhaul is doing what he does best, torturing a little girl for BLD, The usual. He wasn't paying attention to what's going on with his other captains since he'd rather spend the time doing his research. Since it's currently midnight, they need to start their business soon anyways. However, things got interrupted. Random goon. Sir Overhaul, we got multiple intruders storming our place right now. Overhaul, tell the captains to handle this, I'm busy. Random goon, but 2 of our captains have already been taken out. Overhaul, I said I'm busy, don't disturb me unless you want to be the next human couch. The goon sweats a little as he retreats back out of the room. Overhaul didn't think much of the intrusion since he just got 2 new strong members from AFO. As an added bonus, he got a new quirk too, so if anyone were to disturb him, he will gladly try his new power on them. Scene changed to Izuku. Charge. Izuku, his captains and many goons storms Overhaul's base all at once. 𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗟𝗘 and Toga rushes in to compete on kills while Dabi burns anyone trying to escape. Hitoshi and Mashiro both are tasked with killing specific targets in Overhaul's base as all the captains begin to split up. They had already killed 2 of Overhaul's captains at the entrance and want to keep this momentum going. Izuku rushes into the base, breaking the skulls to anyone who tried to stop him. He only has one mission, which is to save Eri and get out. The one to encounter trouble was Toga and 𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗟𝗧. They had encountered 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and twice while on their rampage. Toga, they don't look like normal goons. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, yeah right, they look like upper goons. Twice, we aren't goons. / yes we are. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, damn it, the BLD Tyrant is attacking us, someone go inform Overhaul. One of the Overhaul goons nearby immediately ran towards where Overhaul was on the command of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Toga, call him all you like, but now it's time for stabby. Toga said as she rushes 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 head-on. Toga throws her knives at him, causing him to get cut in the arm. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 attacked back with a hidden blade under his white hoodie as he also rushed Toga. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 uses his hair as an extra blade, trying to cut Toga with it to activate his quirk while Toga swiftly dodged the hair blade as Izuku instructed. Meanwhile, 𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is trading blows with twice. Both of them are expert in hand-to-hand combat, so trading blows in itself doesn't get them anywhere. 𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏, you are one tough son of a gun, I can't beat you alone. 𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏𝗏 said as he jumps back to gain some distance. Just as Twice was about to chase him, 𝗧𝗏𝗏 smiles evilly as he looks around at the corpses from dead Overhaul goons. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, I command all of you damned souls to rise, necromancy. Suddenly, the corpses of fallen goons reanimated themselves as they change appearance. Their skins slowly fall off as they turn into the appearance of 𝗧𝗏𝗏. All the copies of 𝗧𝗏𝗏 grins as they look at Twice. Twice looks in horror as the once dead corpses are now swarming him one by one. Twice tried to fight it off, but when he deals with one copy, 3 more appear and beats him up. The clones don't feel pain nor do they tire. The only way to counter them is to make the corpse immobile or kill it with fire. As Twice slowly gets mauled to death by the clones, the original 𝗧𝗏𝗏 looks at Twice as he grins. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, looks like you aren't much after all, don't worry, you will become one of me soon. Twice, no, I am me. I refuse. Suddenly the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 clones burst back as they fall onto the ground. Twice, sad man's parade. Numerous Twice clones pop out of the original Twice as more clones pop of the clones as more clones pop of the more clones. Hundreds of Twice generated in a few seconds as they began to fight with the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 clones. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 clones begin to fight them off but is getting overwhelmed by the sheer number of Twice clones. Twice clones are tearing the 𝗧𝗏𝗏 clones apart limb for limb whenever they fight. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, what the? I command all you damned souls to rise, necromancy. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 chants again as more corpses begin to rise and turn into 𝗧𝗏𝗏 clones. It was a clone army fight between Twice quantity and 𝗧𝗏𝗏's quality. This all happened when Toga was fighting 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 at the side. Both have stopped for a moment to watch the clone fight for a second, then got back into trying to cut each other. Scene changed to Hitoshi and Mashiro. Hitoshi is currently running into a big problem, literally. 2 massive dudes just appeared in front of him and Mashiro demanding to fight them. Muscular, so which one do you want, Rappa? Rappa, I want the boy, he seems less weak. Muscular, then I shall kill the girl. The two buff men were now picking Hitoshi and Mashiro like it was dodgeball. Muscular approaches Mashiro as Rappa approaches Hitoshi. Mashiro, great, another muscles for brains. 𝗎𝐿𝐴, what you say, girl? You can going to be in so much pain for saying that. Mashiro, I'll show you real pain. Mashiro begins to get into her fighting stance as she activated her quirk on 𝗎𝐿𝐴. This causes 𝗎𝐿𝐴 to feel a bit weird as he buffs up into his big form. He charges at Mashiro preparing a right punch. Mashiro just stood still until the last moment as she just ducks her head while using a knife to slice his muscles. 𝗎𝐿𝐴 immediately jumps back as he holds the arm while screaming. 𝗎𝐿𝐴, what is this pain? What did you do to me, girl? Mashiro, that's already too painful for you. I only powered it to 20%. 𝗎𝐿𝐴, you beach. The pain amplifier quirk Mashiro has worked wonders on someone like 𝗎𝐿𝐴 who has tons of weak and exposed spots on him. Mashiro went in as she dodged several punches and slices another piece of his muscle off. This causes 𝗎𝐿𝐴 to tear up a little from the pain as he tries to continue the fight. Mashiro, I will cut your muscles off one piece at a time until pain shock knock you out, which then I'll kill you. Mashiro said this as she ups her quirk intensity to 40% and continues to slice up 𝗎𝐿𝐴. Meanwhile, Hitoshi is brawling with Rappa. Unlike normally where Hitoshi assassinates his target, he doesn't have the element of surprise this time. Hitoshi doesn't have the physical strength like Rappa, but he does have a good quirk. He is just waiting for a good moment. Rappa, stop dodging, fight back already, or else it's no fun. Hitoshi, you are just mad because I'm faster than you. Rappa, arrogant kid, prepare to with that Hitoshi for Rappa under control. This is almost too easy for Hitoshi. Hitoshi slices Rappa's throat in an instance to end him quickly so he can't snap out of control. Hitoshi, I wonder how is Mashiro doing? Hitoshi turns to his left to see a very interesting sight. Mashiro is just torturing a broken 𝗎𝐿𝐴 with a knife and a WHP. The pain 𝗎𝐿𝐴 is feeling must be very bad right now. 𝗎𝐿𝐴 went from attacking to being attacked. Needless to say, Hitoshi just let Mashiro do her work and have her fun. Hitoshi, I will remind myself not to mess with her. With that, Hitoshi ran off to find Izuku. Scene change to Izuku. Izuku kicks down a reinforced steel door with his legs as he walks into the room. He had already slain most of the Yakuza captains along the way and he was in his bloodlust mode. Izuku's eyes were crimson red as he stares down the person in front of him. Overhaul, of course you will be disturbing me, BLD Tyrant. Overhaul turns around and speaks to Izuku. Eri was still tied to the surgical table, unconscious. Izuku, Overhaul, time to die. Izuku unleashed his overwhelming bloodlust into the atmosphere, instantly causing Overhaul to tense up slightly. Overhaul instantly created a barrier using concrete ground as he separates himself from Izuku. However, the moment the wall was up, it was down again. Izuku had punched a large hole in Overhaul that was high-grade concrete. Izuku launched himself at Overhaul as he kicks the man in the stomach with superhuman speeds. Overhaul flies back into some surgical tools he had on a table as he crashed into it. Overhaul quickly uses his quirk to transform the tools into a long sharp pole to try to keep Izuku back. Izuku grabs the sharp pole as he bends it out of shape. Overhaul, you monster, get back. Izuku just laughs in his face as he begins to kick Overhaul when he is down. The first kick broke his nose, the second broke his ribs, and the last kick broke his skull. That was it, Overhaul was defeated. It was less exciting than Izuku thought it will be. But he is a tyrant for a reason. A tyrant without power is just waiting to be overthrown. Izuku stops his quirk as his eyes turn back into normal. He sees the still unconscious Eri on the surgical table as he quickly breaks the bindings. He picks up Eri as both of them exit the room. Izuku isn't going to use her at all. In fact, he may let one of his captains adopt her. But he is ultimately going to give that choice to Eri. With that, he regroups at the surface with his captains as the BLD Tyrant group retreats. Scene change to Nizu Aizawa. Okay, this is getting absurd. Present Mike, honestly I agree also. Nizu Deep. The BLD Tyrant managed to wipe out the Yakuza. They managed to get on headlines 3 days in a row. Toshinori, Can you please hurry up the plan, 𝗎𝗍𝗓? 𝗎𝗍𝗓, I know, I'm already involving a third party in the plan. He is the best shot we can get. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟 doesn't look convinced as he returns to playing with his thumbs in nervousness. Aizawa, when is the attack on the BLD Tyrant again? 𝗎𝗎𝗓, in a week. The Yakuza camp just suffered a major defeat. With Overhaul gone, the rest of the captains who remained alive went into hiding. They gathered up what little resources they could and bolted right out of the building when the BLD Tyrant withdrew. Of them are now in an abandoned warehouse, trying to heal from the previous battle. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, is there any more food? Twice, I don't think so. In the battle, only 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 and Twice managed to escape. When Twice was unleashing his Sad Man's parade, the real Twice grabbed 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 and ran away, leaving the clones to buy time for them. Now they are trying to heal then get into contact with AFO again. Their injuries wasn't too bad so they won't need to go to any hospitals but they will still need time to recover. In the battle, Twice overcame his trauma and now doesn't have an alternate personality. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 became a little more humble after nearly losing to a teen girl. Scene changed to Izuku Yagi, cheers to our victory. Izuku shouted as he raised his shot glass as drank the whiskey inside. Dabi and Citrus followed suit as both of them shot their whiskey. Hitoshi just sips his coffee while Toga is drinking orange juice. Mashiro isn't in the party due to her wanting to take care of Eri. She has grown a liking for the little girl as she found Eri cute and innocent. Izuku, our overwhelming victory gave us another headline, folks. Dabi, indeed, now our popularity grows even larger. Citrus, Underworld is slowly ours. Toga, and let it rain BLD on those who oppose us. Hitoshi just sighs as he looks at the clock. Hitoshi, not to be a party pooper but it is 6 a.m. already, shouldn't we be wrapping this up? Citrus, what are you talking about? We will party until we either get knockout drunk or Mashiro stops us. Hitoshi, well unlike you bozo, I still have school. Citrus, oh yeah what a loser. Hitoshi, but. Citrus, whatever, at least take a shot before going to school. Hitoshi, which goddamn school allows you to show up drunk? Dabi, he does have a point. Citrus, if you get drunk in one shot, you're a lightweight. Dabi, he also does have a point. Izuku, enough y'all, just let Hitoshi do what he wants. If he doesn't drink, I'll just drink on his behalf. Izuku said that as he took another shot of whiskey. Toga, no Izuku, you are going to regret this later. Izuku, nonsense, since when have I regretted drinking? Toga, every time you complain to me about your hangover. Izuku, Toga, so will you stop drinking now? Izuku, no. Toga, I'm fine, then don't expect me to make you herbal soup when you are hangover. Toga pouts as she crosses her arms. Izuku, wait, we can talk about this. Toga, then stop drinking. Izuku, haze, fine. Dabi, looking at the feared BLD Tyrant being bossed around by his girlfriend is too funny. Citrus, agreed. Hitoshi, alright since the party is dying down, I'm going to take my leave. I can't be too late for school. Dabi, let me drive you there, I need to sober up anyways. Hitoshi, the last thing I need is a drunk driver. Dabi, touché. Scene changed to Gran Torino. Gran Torino is currently walking around in a very shady part of town. 𝗎𝗍𝗓 has tasked him with recruiting some specialist for the job. Gran Torino knocks on the wooden door as he waits for an answer. The door creaks open slowly, revealing a man dressed in a black hoodie. His face is covered by a black mask, but small details of his face still can be made out. What do you want? He said it more like a statement than a question. GT, I heard you are a hired specialist. Only if you have the cash. GT, 50k up front, 50k when the job is done. Make it 60k, 40k and we have a deal. GT, alright deal. Who's the target? GT, BLD Tyrant. GT, is there a problem? Make it 6 mil up front and 4 mil when the job is done. If I'm going to mess with that guy, you better pay me something worth equal to my life. GT, that's quite the price increase. But I'm not sure if the price is worth it. Trust me, I'm the only one in the industry suicidal enough to even accept the job in the first place. GT, alright then, 6 mil upfront it is. Go to 𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 to receive your payment and more info. With that, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 left the man a note as he walks away. Scene change to 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It has been 2 days since 𝗏𝗏𝗏 got custody of 𝗏𝗏𝗏. They somehow have great synergy with each other, liking each other almost immediately after they meet. Even though 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is still afraid of everyone else, she actually can interact with 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, what do you want to eat? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, apple. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 excited says as she smiles broadly. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, all right 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I'll go prepare. You can play with Uncle Izuku. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, okay 𝗏𝗏𝗏 says hesitantly as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 left. Izuku is left with 𝗏𝗏𝗏 alone as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 slowly approaches Izuku. Izuku has no experience dealing with children whatsoever, so he is almost quite nervous. Izuku, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, do you want to play a game? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, a game. Izuku, it's something fun we can do. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Izuku, let's play blackjack. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, what's blackjack? Izuku basically explains blackjack to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 while 𝗏𝗏𝗏 slowly learns how to do math. Yes, Izuku condones child gambling, just without the money. Izuku, alright, let's start the first round. Izuku deals the cards to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and himself, as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 slowly picks up her cards. She looks at the cards as she starts to use her finger to count. Izuku wanted to tell her that he can see her counting her number, but it was just too cute. Izuku, alright 𝗏𝗏𝗏, do you want another card? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, yes. Izuku gives 𝗏𝗏𝗏 another card as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 begins counting again. Izuku, another card. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, no, I'm confident. Izuku, okay, turn your cards over. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I got 19. Izuku, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, that's 18. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 begins to panic as she uses her fingers to recount the points. When she realizes she counted wrong, her face turned red in embarrassment. Izuku, it's okay 𝗏𝗏𝗏, just learn from your mistakes. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 began to cheer up as she makes a face of determination. Izuku and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 plays another few more rounds until 𝗏𝗏𝗏 falls asleep from exhaustion. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 walks in bringing a bowl of sliced apple as she sees a sleeping 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and Izuku packing up the cards. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, you could have told me she was asleep. Izuku, it's fine, I'll eat it. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, haze. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 sighs as she looks at 𝗏𝗏𝗏 suddenly in her sleep. Her face turns into a frightened one as she keeps moving. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is having a nightmare, should we wake her up? Izuku, yeah we should, no one likes being in a nightmare. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 places down the plate of apple as she reaches out to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 and taps her shoulder. Suddenly, 𝗏𝗏𝗏's horn grew out as it began to glow. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 immediately retracts her hand as she looks worried. Yellow light began to sprout from the horn as Izuku and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 look at it worried. The plate of apple beside 𝗏𝗏𝗏 suddenly turned back into a skinned apple for a moment, before disappearing entirely. Izuku and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 saw this as both made the connection of her quirk. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 wake up. Izuku, wake up. Both of them shouts to 𝗏𝗏𝗏 but it seems she couldn't wake up. Izuku wanted to grab 𝗏𝗏𝗏 but fears that he will also rewind if he did. Suddenly, a splash of water hit 𝗏𝗏𝗏 as 𝗏𝗏𝗏 finally woke up. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 had thrown a glass of water at 𝗏𝗏𝗏, hoping that will wake her up, and luckily it worked. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 wakes up as she looks at Izuku and 𝗏𝗏𝗏 who both had a slight fearful expression on their faces. This caused 𝗏𝗏𝗏 to be scared as she tucked her head in her arms. Izuku was the first to notice why as he spoke. Izuku, it's okay 𝗏𝗏𝗏, it's not your fault. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, but my quirk it almost harmed you. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, it's okay 𝗏𝗏𝗏, we will solve this together. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, but what if I hurt more people? Izuku, your quirk won't hurt anyone, trust me. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, really? 𝗏𝗏𝗏, yes really, it's a wonderful quirk. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, alright. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 regains a little confidence as she looks at Izuku and 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 picks 𝗏𝗏𝗏 up as both of them walk out of the room to get some food in the kitchen, leaving Izuku in the room. He wants to think of a solution to help 𝗏𝗏𝗏 out with her quirk control. The most realistic way is to train, but what if she goes out of control then? It's not like this time when you can just wake her up. No one in the gang has any quirk to counter this either. Not like he can just erase 𝗏𝗏𝗏's quirk. Right. Izuku, what if I ask Eraserhead for help? Will that work? Can I even trust him to take care of 𝗏𝗏𝗏? Izuku has this feeling that Eraserhead won't betray his trust. Yet again, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 may not agree at all. That's one thing everyone in the BLD Tyrant group has in common: they don't trust heroes. There is still a chance they might use Eri against him as leverage. They may get this desperate. Whatever the case is, he needs to figure out something to get Eri's quirk under control for now. With that, Izuku left the room after cleaning up the cards and the water. Scene change to Nizu. Nizu is on the call with 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Nizu, so you got him? GT. Yeah, I hired him. What's so special about him anyways? And for that price? 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 didn't know the person or his background. All he knows is that Nizu somehow thinks he is best for the job. Nizu, he was an freelance assassin hired by the Hero Commission to kill an infamous kingpin in the past. Of course, he succeeded. But that wasn't all. He managed to track down the boss of the kingpin that even the Hero Commission didn't know about and kill the real boss. That's how efficient he is. GT, sounds like a real underworld achiever alright. But he didn't seem that tough when I visited him. Nizu, that's what makes a good assassin. The ability to blend in. True. What's his name? Nizu, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Izumi is currently sparring with Katsuki at UA. With Izumi needing to train one for all more and Katsuki needing to train his mechanical arm, it was the perfect spar. Both of them are just exchanging simple punches and kicks, nothing too special. For this fight only, Katsuki has turned off his limiter on the arm to combat the power of one for all. Izumi isn't using her telekinesis to make sure her physical strength grows too. One clash from the mechanical arm and Ofa made the whole stadium quake from the shockwave. The class just watches in amazement at the power creep they are experiencing. After a while the match was called to an end by All Might, who was overseeing the battle. Katsuki stepped out as he made a few adjustments in the mech arm. Izumi wipes her sweat off her face as she takes a sip of water. Aizawa, Nizu calls both of you to the office. Aizawa came out of nowhere as he calls to both Katsuki and Izumi. Both of them know not to disrespect the rat as they walk to his office. Nizu, I'll welcome both of you. Aizawa, please stay as well. Aizawa, hurry up, I've a class to teach. Nizu, very well. First of all, I need to bring our dear Katsuki and Izumi up to date. We will be attacking the BLD Tyrant in a day. We need the two of you as backup. Aizawa, wait, you are bringing the kids into this. Nizu, only the two of them. First off, we lack heroes right now after the BLD Tyrant killing so many of them. Secondly, and more importantly, don't you think they need to clean up their mess? They brought the BLD Tyrant into this world and they sure as heck is going to bring him out. Both Katsuki and Izumi lower their head feeling guilty. Aizawa understands Nizu's point but still disagrees. Aizawa, but they are still kids, at least get some experience third years. Nizu, I am. The big three will be tagging along as well. But Katsuki and Izumi are coming along as well, or else. When Nizu says or else, you don't mess with that. Aizawa sighs as he feels slight pity for the two. Not really though. The two strengthen their resolve to meet and fight Izuku once more, and this time, they won't lose. Aizawa brings the two back to class as he sees 1A chatting away. As Aizawa steps in, the class goes quiet like usual. Izumi and Katsuki return to their seats as they wait for Aizawa to speak. Aizawa, tomorrow you will be having a day off from school. It is a special break day for you all since the teachers will be busy tomorrow. That's all. The class erupted into cheer the moment Aizawa finished. However, Katsuki and Izumi didn't cheer. In fact, they were making faces of dread as they worry about what's to come. Scene change to 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is currently preparing his assassination in 2 days. He had heard Nizu's plan for how he will assassin Izuku and it was quite genius. The raid tomorrow is to weaken and draw out Izuku into a vulnerable position. Nizu doubts the raid will capture Izuku, let alone kill him. But it will drive him out of his base, so when he leaves, headshot. However, in the case where he is found out, Izuku isn't going to let 𝗏𝗏 escape so easily in the slightest. 𝗏𝗏 may be the best assassin, but Izuku is not the tyrant for nothing. In a one-on-one standoff, 𝗏𝗏 doubts he can win against Izuku. It just boils down to who shoots first. Is it 𝗏𝗏 who is going to catch Izuku off guard or Izuku who is going to confront 𝗏𝗏? 𝗏𝗏 already has his assassination method down, the good old trusty sniper. His quirk is special, it's called Arsenal. He has a gallery of weapons he can summon at will, including handguns, blades, rifles and of course, snipers. With the location and time settles, all that's left to plan is to familiar himself with the surroundings. He doesn't want to get lost on the day itself or let his target escape due to his lack of knowledge of the surrounding. That's why 𝐻𝐿 is currently taking a slow walk around a quite popular part of downtown Tokyo. Apparently, that's where the attack is going down. 𝐿, this place seems chill. Can't imagine the biggest gangs in Japan being located here. 𝐿 was walking around as he suddenly got bumped in the foot. He looks down to see a young girl who fell on the ground after bumping his leg. 𝐿, sorry, let me help you up. 𝐿 says as he reaches out his hand. The girl takes his hand as she gets back on her feet. 𝐿 squats down and asks, 𝐿, what's your name? Eri. Eri seems afraid of 𝐿 as she mumbles her name, barely audible to 𝐿. 𝐿, did you lose your mom? Eri, yes 𝐿. Do you want me to help you find her? Eri, really? 𝐿, yes of course, I am 𝐿 by the way. Eri, okay 𝐿. 𝐿 picks up Eri as he lets her sit on his shoulder. 𝐿 began walking in the direction of where she came from. 𝐿, when you spot your mother tell me okay. Eri split. After walking for a while, Eri's stomach began to growl as 𝐿 felt that on his back. 𝐿, are you hungry Eri? Eri, a little. 𝐿, do you want something to eat? Eri split. Eri says excitedly as she points towards a stand that sells candied apples. Both of them walk towards the store as 𝐿 picks out a candied apple for Eri. Eri takes a bite out of it as she feels the sweetness of the candy. Eri, so good. Thank you 𝐿. 𝐿 thought his heart was going to melt when she thanked him. It was cuteness overload. They continue to walk for a while until Eri recognizes a familiar blonde-hair female. Eri, Mishiro. Mishiro turns around to see Eri waving at her from a man's shoulders. She rushes towards Eri as she takes Eri off of 𝐿's shoulder. Mishiro, don't run off again Eri. You got lucky this kind sir helped you. Thank you so much sir. 𝐿, no worries. Are you her mother? You don't really look similar. Mishiro, only adoptive mother. 𝐿, I see. Take better of Eri next time, this isn't the place to lose a child. Mishiro, alright, I definitely will. With that Mishiro took Eri's hand as both of them walk off into the distance. 𝐿 sighs as he walks in another direction. He recalls the peaceful days where he will spend his time playing with his friends. How they spent every day just slacking off and having fun. Well, that is until they died on a mission with him. They had sacrificed their lives to ensure 𝐿 made it out alive. All for one was merciless. He slaughtered 𝗏𝗏, Maha and 𝗧𝗏, making 𝐿 the only one who came out alive. He didn't seek revenge, in fact he had no will left. He just spends his days alone in his house. Not that he minds being too alone, being an assassin and all, he just wished to have someone beside him, or to reunite with his friends. Ever since that day, he has been taking countless assassination jobs, hoping that one of them will fulfill his wish. 𝐿, Hayes, hopefully this mission can finally do me in. Scene change to Dabi. Dabi has been sent out on a mission the very next day after the overhaul raid has been cleared out. He was tasked with an important investigation on the person called Yatsubashi Rikiya, or known as 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's name has been popping up here and there in the underworld about some meta-liberation army bullshit. Izuku thinks it's not much of a big deal, but they should look into it in case it is. That's why Dabi is going to a place Daika City. Apparently, according to Izuku's intel, a lot of followers of this 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has been gathered at the city. So he is tasked with checking the city out, in case they actually has powerful people there. As Dabi walks into Daika City, he sees just a bunch of normal stuff. Nothing really seems out of the ordinary. Even on the way here, everyone seems normal. The only odd thing is a red book that everyone is apparently reading. But that's the only detail that stands out. Dabi walks further into the city as he begins to observe everyone. Everyone was just doing their own thing, minding their own business. Suddenly a man approached Dabi. Guy, hello sir, do you happen to have this book? The guy says as he brings out a copy of the red book Dabi keeps seeing. Dabi, yeah I do. Dabi says as he brings out his red book from his jacket. He had got it from someone whose life subscription has been cancelled, but the guy doesn't need to know. Guy, wonderful. You look new here, so let me guide you to the meeting location. The guy says as he gestured 𝗬𝗓 to follow him. 𝗬𝗓 sees no problem with this as he follows the guy. A while later, they arrive at a regular-looking house with a guard outside. The guard lets the guy and 𝗬𝗓 go in as both of them walk into an underground section of the house. Guy, here we are. Oh, and be quiet, the talk has already started. The guy says as he opens the metal door in front of them, leading 𝗬𝗓 inside. 𝗬𝗓 looks around to see hundreds or even thousands or civilians listening to a man talk up on a stage. 𝗬𝗓, this is 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘. Looks like he got quite the following. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, you will all be trained by our top captains to enhance your quirks. Remember, quirks are justice. Quirks are freedom. You can use them however you want in our new society, no more restrictions, only freedom. The crowd begins to cheer as 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 bows to the crowd. 𝗬𝗓 just watched this, surprised at his popularity. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, now let's get one of you up here on stage to show us your amazing quirk. You there, come up. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 says as he points into the crowd. Everyone's glance now look in the direction of 𝗬𝗓 as he got a little surprised. 𝗬𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗏, yes you. Come up. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 says with so much enthusiasm that it will put SpongeBob to shame. The crowd parts way for 𝗬𝗓 as he slowly got onto the stage, unwillingly. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, what's your name, good sir? 𝗬𝗓, I definitely can't say 𝗬𝗓. 𝗬𝗓 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, now 𝗬𝗓, show us your quirk. 𝗬𝗓 begins to show off his blue fire to the crowd, showing excellent control, as everyone watches in amazement. It's not shocking at all that 𝗬𝗓 has so much experience with his quirk. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, what a splendid performance by 𝗬𝗓. This level of skill can grant you a promotion to corporal already. With enough hard work, you can achieve so much more with your fire. The crowd cheers for 𝗬𝗓 and 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 as 𝗬𝗓 goes back to the crowd. He didn't like all this screaming and shouting, it was too noisy. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, that wraps up the talk for today. I will see you all here next Tuesday. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 says as he exits from the backstage. The crowd behind to disperse as many takes their leaves. Just as 𝗬𝗓 was about to leave, he was stopped by the same guy from earlier. Guy, 𝗬𝗓, 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 will like to meet you. 𝗬𝗓 thought this may be a good chance to get some intel, so he accepted as both of them walks to the backstage. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 was sitting on a chair as he sees 𝗬𝗓 walk in. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, welcome 𝗬𝗓, I heard from my captain here that you are new to us. That was some impressive fire you showed. 𝗬𝗓, thanks. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, I wasn't joking about the position earlier. How about you join my army and become a corporal? 𝗬𝗓, I don't mind if you answer some of my questions. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, sure, ask away, but I can't guarantee I can answer them. 𝗬𝗓, how many people are there in your army? 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, about 100,000 citizens. They are scattered all around Japan. 𝗬𝗓 almost choked when he heard the number. 𝗬𝗓, wow, that's a lot of support. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, indeed, it just shows many support the notion of free quirk use and freedom. 𝗬𝗓, how many of them are corporals? 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, I will say around only 1,000. 𝗬𝗓, quite the limited group. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, course, I only recruit the best of the best. 𝗬𝗓, final question, how do you get your funding? I don't see ruling the whole city as cheap. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, I run a company or two that pulls in funding. Of course our supporters also donate to the cause. 𝗬𝗓, very well, I shall accept your offer. 𝗬𝗓 reaches his hand out for a handshake as 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 accepts it. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, nice to have you on the team. By the way, the person who brought you here is Trumpet. He is your superior and you will be under him from now onwards. Trumpet, nice to meet you. 𝗬𝗓, nice to meet you too. With that, 𝗬𝗓 is now part of the Meta Liberation Army. 𝗬𝗓, this is too easy. Nizu, are they in position? Toshinori, yes they are. Everyone is ready. Nizu, then we shall begin. Commence the raid. Scene changed to Izuku. Izuku was doing paperwork in his office when boom, he heard a loud explosion happen in his base. Izuku, what was that? Izuku decides to check things over in case it's serious. He dials the hotline to Mashiro as he asks, Izuku, what's going on? Mashiro, at Atakuros. The line suddenly went silent as if it was cut off. Izuku decided this is code red as he sends an emergency message to everyone in the organization and his captains. He runs out of his office as he dashes to try and support any of his captains he finds. Izuku, TSK, this is the worst time for Dabi to be out of town. Scene changed to 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧, necromancy. 𝗧𝗓𝗧 was rapidly using his quirk on any dead bodies he can find. He just got word that the base was under attack by the heroes, and so he needs as much manpower as possible. He dashed through the hallways with around 50 clones as an explosion happened right in front of them. Out steps many heroes and police as they look at 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗧𝗧. 𝗧𝗓𝗧, damn it, clones charge. 𝗧𝗓𝗧 shouts as they all begin to attack the police. The police begins to gun down the clones with their assault rifles, as BLD and organs are being scattered throughout the place. 𝗧𝗓𝗧, no you don't. Necromancy. The whole filled corpse rises up as many severed limbs and bodies rushes the police. The police didn't stop firing, but the undead army was slowly closing in. Random clone, die police. The clone slashed down on the police with his left arm as the police force broke structure. The clone was quickly killed, but more clones were incoming. I'll handle it from here. Someone from the back came forward as he takes down several incoming clone with red-hot fire. 𝗧𝗓𝗧, F Endeavor. Endeavor, villain, you will be captured. Endeavor says as he fills the entire hallway with flames, burning each and every clone to charcoal. The clones slowly begin to melt as they drop dead on the floor. 𝗧𝗓𝗧 also got caught up in the fire as he barely manages to catch his breath. 𝗧𝗓𝗧, F necromancy won't work on F charcoal. 𝗧𝗓𝗧 begins to get up on his feet as he decides to bolt away. However, in his weakened state, Endeavor easily catches him as he is thrown against a wall, rendering 𝗧𝗓𝗧 unconscious. Endeavor, handcuff him, he should be alive, I think. With that, Endeavor continues down the hallway, as 𝗧𝗓𝗧 gets captured. Scene change to Toga. Toga is currently fighting a lot of people at once. Her goons are taking care of some of the heroes, but they won't last for long. Toga needs to find an opening to escape to Izuku's side or she won't stand a chance. Aizawa. Toga, just surrender, you can't win. Toga, not a chance, hobo. Toga dodges Aizawa's scarf with a backflip as she sensed something approaching from her left. He kicks off of the wall as she dodges another explosion. Katsuki, die. Toga lands herself on the ground as she barely blocks a green flash. Using one for all, Izumi punched with so much force that it broke Toga's right arm. A follow-up uppercut made Toga fly into the air for a few seconds, as Katsuki shoots another bullet of explosion. With Toga slightly dazed, she couldn't dodge the explosion this time as it hits her with a direct impact. She lands on the ground back first as Aizawa throws another round of scarfs at Toga. With the scarf coming from the right, Izumi coming from the left, and Katsuki in the middle, the three unleash a simultaneous attack, making sure she couldn't dodge it. Toga looks up at the ceiling as she whispers, "Togato. Good luck, Izuku." This was the last thing she said before losing consciousness. Scene changed to Hitoshi. Hitoshi, damn it Izuku, pick up the phone. Hitoshi is screaming into his phone while rapidly pressing the call button. He has received an emergency message in the captain's group that the base is under attack from UA and other heroes. Normally he will go help out immediately, however, this time is different. He didn't know if Izuku wanted him to continue staying at UA as a spy or not. Since if he went to help, he will definitely be found out. His gut instinct says to go help them, but he may also risk being captured before he even can help out. He was only one single person after all. With Izuku not picking up his 32 missed calls, Hitoshi silently prays that Izuku will win this fight. Scene changed to Mashiro. Mashiro, Eri, run. Go to Izuku. Eri, but... Mashiro, no but sweetheart, please go to Izuku. Eri doesn't say another word as she began running as fast as she can to Izuku's office. Mirio, alright, is she gone? Mashiro, yes she is. Now we can fight. Mashiro changes into her battle stance as she drew out her daggers. 𝗎𝗎𝗓, alright, let's start. 𝗎𝗎𝗓 launches a beam of energy towards Mashiro as she counters it by throwing a few rocks at it. She throws down her smoke screen as the room fills up quickly in smoke. Tamaki enlarges his octopus hands as he searches the area, swiping every corner of the room. Suddenly Mashiro came behind Tamaki as she stabs him in the neck, ending his heartbeat. Tamaki didn't even have time to scream. None of the other big three even saw this. Mashiro was an emissary of stealth. As 𝗔𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 searched the air, Mirio was nowhere to be seen. Mashiro uses her speed to try and run away using the smoke as cover. Present Mic. Wait. One scream from Present Mic threw Mashiro off her sense as she got overwhelmed by the sound. The sound also dissipated the smoke that was covering the place, exposing her position. 𝗔𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 shoots multiple beams at her from the sky as Mirio rushes Mashiro. Mashiro decided to ignore them and try to escape. But she turns around to find Midnight and ectoplasm blocking the exit. With the exit blocked and her surrounded, she decided to resort to her final stand. Mashiro, you shall know pain. By overdriving her quirk, she made sure everyone in the room experienced pain 1000x the usual. At this multiplier, the target's own heartbeat will cause an overwhelming pain sensation in their heart. 𝗔𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘 and Mirio immediately stop on their places as they grip their chest. They didn't even get the chance to mourn Tamaki as both of them got instantly headshot by daggers Mashiro threw, killing them. The UA teachers also began to collapse one by one as they gripped their hearts too. After a while, Present Mic, Midnight, Ectoplasm, Vlad King, Cementos and Snipe lost consciousness due to the pain shock. Mashiro dashed to each of them as she stabs them in the heart, ending their life. However, this pain Mashiro's last stand for a reason. Due to quirk overload, her body began weakening, her limbs grew numb as her adrenaline ran out. The consequence of quirk overuse was death. She smiles as she collapses on the ground, happy that she made it this far. Memories of her past begins flashing through her mind, one picture at a time, how she was neglected, how her childhood was filled with bullying. However, everything changed 2 years ago when she met Izuku. Izuku was kind to her, polite to her and most of all, believed in her. When she formed the BLD Tyrant group with him, she had the best time of her life. Not one day went by without her smiling and laughing. It was a life-changing moment. And now, she has decided to let the other captains live a happy life, by trading her life. In her last moments, she remembers the first conversation Izuku had with her. Izuku, what color do you want to be? Mashiro, I don't know. Izuku, well when you know, come and tell me, I'll see if that fits you. Mashiro closes her eyes as she whispers with her last breath. Mashiro, cherry blossom pink with the last sentence, Mashiro lies there on the ground, as her spirit flies away. Scene change to Izuku 𝗏𝗏, Toshinori, Izuku. Both of them stare each other down, eyes filled with hatred with each side exerting their own pressure. Inko, this is your last chance to surrender Izuku, you don't have to fight. Inko had gotten over Izuku being a villain already and she had strengthened her resolve to confront Izuku. Izuku is at a severe disadvantage here. Not because of them numbers advantage the hero have, in face he didn't give the slightest of cares. It was because he had Eri to protect. When Mashiro sent Eri to Izuku, he knew Mashiro was ready for the worst, if not Eri wouldn't be with him. Imagining a dead Mashiro pains Izuku's heart to the very core. That's why he had to protect Eri, for her sake. Eri is currently in the arms of Izuku. Truth be told, this made Izuku a lot less intimidating. Izuku, before we begin, I have a proposal. Toshinori, I don't have time for your games. Toshinori takes one step closer as he begins to charge up his fist. Izuku, sorry Eri. Step back. Izuku unleashed his bloodlust into words as it caused Toshinori to stop instinctively. Eri got scared by Izuku but she didn't let go of him. Izuku, listen. I now have something to protect, so how about we make this a fair one-on-one? Me versus whoever on your side you choose. I want to leave Eri out of this. Toshinori, you think we will let you have the Advan Inko, we accept. Before Toshinori can finish, Inko cuts him off and accepts the condition. She also wants to leave unnecessary people out of this, especially a child. Toshinori, wait, but Inko, we are not bringing a young girl into this fight. Toshinori, fine. Izuku, so much for being a hero. Izuku puts Eri down as he tells Eri to step back. Eri do as told while Izuku cracks his knuckles. Izuku stares at 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 as his eyes slowly begins to turn red. Izuku, let's do this. The two charges at each other with their fist colliding, creating a shockwave. The ground breaks as the dust particles are scattered in the entire room. Izuku continue to trade blows with 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 as Izuku is slowly being pushed back. He doesn't have the power 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 has, but he does have the speed. Izuku uses the dust to rapidly move around, creating slight after images of himself as he begins to strike 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 like an eagle in the sky, using the walls to propel himself. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏, Texas Smash. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 uses one for all as he clears the dust in an instance, in the meantime, punching Izuku back against a wall. Izuku spits out BLD as his eyes grew even more red. He charges at 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 using his legs to axe kick the man. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 grabs his leg as he throws his into another wall, this time charging at him like a bull. Izuku dodges the charge as he kicks 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 in the stomach, in his weak spot. This caused him to flinch, and using this chance Izuku grabs his hidden blade as he stabs it through 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧's weak spot. The wound reopens itself as BLD began flowing from the wound. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧 coughs up BLD as Izuku twists the knife and slashes his chest wide open. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 didn't give up though as he went in for a max power one for all punch, using the shockwave to force Izuku back. Izuku begins to bleed as he realizes his organs have been damaged badly. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 charges at Izuku, shouting. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, United Stated of Smash. With a single punch, the walls of the room, the ceiling, everything got destroyed in that punch. A thick and big cloud of dust covered the room as everyone begins to cough from the dust. After a while, the dust settles, revealing 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 in his skinny form. He had used up the last embers of one for all in that fight and he currently on the ground bleeding heavily. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 rushes by his side as she calls for a medic as she begins to remove the debris around him with her telekinesis. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, are you okay? 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I should live. But the important question is, where is Izuku? 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 looks around to see both Izuku and Eri gone. They had escaped in the dust. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he isn't here. 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he is weak, hurry up and send someone to get him. With that, 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 passes out from both exuation and BLD lost. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 uses her telekinesis to float 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 as she applies pressure on his wound to prevent more BLD lost. Scene change to Izuku. Izuku is currently limping as he carried Eri in his arms. The fight just now took more energy out of his than expected. He has grabbed Eri in the dust cloud and ran through a hidden exit in his office. It leads him straight outside the building and to the surface, to an alleyway. Izuku, Eri, you're safe now. I'll bring you to another base we have, then we will rest. Eri, but Mashiro is in trouble. Izuku, she can handle herself, she's strong. Eri, okay. Eri is a little down that they are running away, but she doesn't want to cause trouble for Izuku. Bang! Eri hears a loud noise as she grips Izuku's hand tighter. However, she felt something was wrong. Izuku wasn't gripping her back. He looked at Izuku as he suddenly collapsed on the floor, a bullet hole through his chest. BLD was coming out fast as it drips all over. Eri, Izuku. Luff, job complete, target eliminated in northwest of base location. Luff talks into his earpiece as he keeps his sniper. A 8mm tungsten round just pierced through Izuku, plus the fact that he is exhausted, there is no way he survives this. Luff, although I feel bad for Eri though, she seems to like Izuku a lot. As Luff climbs down from the roof, he noticed Eri crying over Izuku's body. He walks over to Eri as he speaks. Luff, sorry Eri, he is a bad person. A sobbing Eri looks at Luff as she barely manages to keep her breathing under control. Eri, no, Izuku protected me. Luff, but he has done a lot of bad things to other people. Eri looks down at Izuku as she whispers out. Eri, I won't. Luff, sorry what? Eri, I won't let Izuku die. Eri suddenly shouts out as her horn glows bright. The horn grew larger as Eri presses her hand on Izuku. Beams of light began to envelop Izuku as the bullet wound slowly begins to close up. Luff was shocked by this as he runs up to Eri, trying to stop her. He grabs her arm as the light began affecting Luff. Luff's arm began to shrink as he notices him becoming smaller. Luff, What the 𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗧𝗟𝗘 was about to yank Eri. A fast punch connected with his right cheek as he flew back into a brick wall. Izuku has stood up. And Izuku rushes forward and began to beat the life out of Luffy. Luffy didn't have time to bring out any of his weapons as Izuku just delivered blow after blow. First his nose broke, then his ribs, then his arm. Many bones in his body got shattered and broken as Izuku didn't show any sign of stopping. And Izuku's eyes wasn't even red yet. Izuku picks up Luffy by the neck as he knees Luffy in the crotch, earning a ouch from the male readers here. He then threw Luffy onto the ground as Izuku picks up a nearby brick and began to smash it on his skull. Within a few seconds, Luffy didn't exist in this world anymore. Izuku stood over Luffy's body with his bloodied fist. He glanced over at Eri, who was hiding behind a trash can. Izuku bolted at Eri as he brings her into a tight hug. Eri gasps as she got shocked by Izuku. This was the first time Izuku hugged her this tightly. It reminded Eri of Mashiro. Eri hugs back as she embraces Izuku's now warm body as both of them stay in that position for a minute. Toshinori, how are you still alive? A skinny Toshinori had interfered with Izuku and Eri's moment as he looks at the still moving and breathing Izuku. Izuku breaks off from Eri's hug as he turns his attention to Toshinori and a few other heroes who showed up with him. Izuku, I don't die that easily. Toshinori, but Luffy said. Izuku shows a bored expression as he points behind his back to a bloody corpse on the floor. The skull has been smashed in and lots of blood are flowing out. The heroes look in disgust at Izuku as Izuku chuckles slightly at their expression. Toshinori, just give up, Tyrant, all your followers have been captured. Izuku, really? Inko, it's true, if you don't believe him, believe me. Izuku, TSK. Then in this case I definitely can't give up. I got to free them. The heroes all flinch at the declaration as Izuku shows a wicked smile. Izuku, unfortunately now isn't the time, I got somewhere to be. Izuku immediately bolts with Eri out of the alley, using the maze-like alleyway as a way to lose the heroes. Toshinori and the heroes immediately gave chase, but after a while, they decided to call in backup. Toshinori calls Nizu asking him to send out a search party for Izuku. Nizu, so Luffy failed. Toshinori, yeah, unfortunately. Nizu, I'll send out more heroes immediately. With that, Nizu hangs up the call as he dispatches all remaining heroes to look for Izuku. Scene change to Izuku. Izuku was dashing while holding Eri at some countryside road. It was a very rural part of Tokyo that has open grasslands and little infrastructure. He had been running from the heroes for 2 days straight, only stopping once in a while to get water and food. Eri has been asleep in his arms for most of the run, only waking up to drink and eat. Izuku is confident no hero can find him here, since not even heroes patrol this part of Japan. Needless to say, he is exhausted. As he continues to run, his destination becomes visible from the road. It was an old and worn town-looking building. Izuku slowed down as he approaches the building. As he walks in, the inside was surprisingly clean with little to no dust. It was also fully furnished with tables and chairs. Look who came running to me after being royally F in the butt. Izuku turns his head and shoots the person a stare as he points at the sleeping Eri. The person didn't really care as she takes a puff of her cigar. If you are going to stay, at least make it discreet. I don't want my retirement life being ruined by you. Izuku, much appreciated, Nagant. Kana, how many times do I have to tell you, I'm retired, stop calling me by that name. Izuku, just deal with it, I'm too tired right now to care about minor details. Kana, go take a shower, you look terrible. Izuku, thanks. Take care of Eri in the meantime, thanks. Kana, you got a kid. Kana acts a little shocked as she gasps. Izuku, not my kid, I'll explain later. Kana, alright, she seems asleep anyways. Izuku thanks her once again as he heads upstairs and he entered the bathroom. He turns on the water as the sprinkler gushes streams of water down his face. Izuku, I'm coming for you soon. Toga, Citrus, Mashiro, please don't be dead. Scene change to Toga. Toga is in her cell, humming to the tune of I Want It That Way. Citrus is sharing a cell with her since both of them identified as Izuku's captains and will be interrogated later. Citrus, How are you still so cheerful? We literally got caught. Toga, isn't it obvious? Izuku will get us out. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, and what if he doesn't? Toga, don't doubt him like that, I've known him longer than you. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, I'm just saying we may need to figure a way out ourselves. Toga, true. Any ideas? 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, so far not really. Toga, alright then. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, you not going to help? Toga, nope. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, this is hopeless. Toga, just put faith in Izuku, he will be here. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, you are hopeless. Toga, I have a reason to trust Izuku. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, and what is it? Because you love each other, huh? Toga, he has allies not part of the BLD Tyrant group, and some of them are really powerful. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘, this is the first time I've heard about it. Who does he have? Toga stares into the camera in her cell as she smiles broadly. It is quite obvious it also has a recording device in it. Toga, not saying. Scene change to Nizu. Tashinori is currently taking his rage out on a kid's size punching bag. Nizu, calm down Tashinori, it wasn't all bad, we got some of Izuku's captains captured. And his influence in the underworld should be significantly weakened now. Tashinori, but at what cost? We lost so many heroes, including most of our staff. We are lucky Endeavor and Hawks agreed to fill in for some classes. Furthermore, I used up all my time as All Might, and even worst, we didn't even capture Izuku. Tashinori shouts as he punched the punching bag. Nizu, that is indeed unfortunate, but we are doing our best to search for him. He couldn't have gone far. Inko, still though, we still suffered great losses, that can't be denied. The interrogation of the prisoners are also not going smoothly, they aren't saying anything. Nizu, Hayes, we will figure this out, but first we need to reinforce law and order to Tokyo first. Many great heroes have died and caused the crime rate to go up. The sudden disappearance of All Might is also causing public anxiety to increase. Honestly, at this point, I think we should have just left Izuku alone. Tashinori, no. We are doing the right thing, he is a villain, he needs to be stopped. We will recover in due time. Inko, I hope so. Scene change to Hitoshi. Hitoshi POV, well, I guess I have Endeavor as my teacher now. He isn't all that bad, honestly. Just don't joke in his class and you should live. Shota looks like he is going through hell though. I don't know how Izuku is doing, I just wish he is fine right now. I'm just concerned about Mashiro. When the heroes made the raid public, I didn't see Mashiro being one of the captains, only Toga and 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗃. This means she either identified herself as a goon or rather believed the prior. Either way, I have zero idea where is Izuku right now. He could be going to one of our mini bases, but that probably isn't safe for now. The rest of the goons who haven't been captured are probably in chaos right now. Endeavor, Hitoshi, listen to class please. Hitoshi, yes sir. Well, I guess I zoned out. Also, where is Cyborg Boom Boom Man and Izumi? Shouldn't they be in class or something? I think that is quite concerning, don't you think? There has been no word from them since a few days ago. They didn't even read the messages in the class group chat. I'm starting to think they are dead. Not that I care, it's probably better for Izuku this way. Oh well, it will probably be a long time until I get to meet with Izuku and the rest of the captains. For now I'll just lay low and chill until I get a response from Izuku. It has been 1 week. Izuku is currently drawing up plans in Kaina's home to rescue his captains. He had contacted Dabi and Hitoshi, telling them he was safe but needs to go into hiding for another month or so. Both of them were glad Izuku was safe and wished him all the best. They are also informed to remain as spies for the time being and not to make any moves. Kaina, so what's the plan? Kaina walks into Izuku's room as she brings him a cup of coffee. Izuku, I'm still thinking. Tartarus isn't going to be easy to infiltrate. Kaina, I can give you some advice. Izuku, what is it? Kaina, teleport in. Izuku, wow, thanks, so helpful. Kaina, no, seriously, they hire guards with teleportation quirk to get into Tartarus. There are no doors and the walls are some titanium steel alloys, not even my sniper can dent it. Izuku, you tried. Kaina, many times. Izuku, not even going to ask. Scene change to Dabi. In a span of a week, Dabi has been promoted twice since he joined the Meta Liberation Army. The MLA has been very interested in 𝗬𝗓's sheer firepower and has made him one of the few lieutenants. Trumpet, congrats on your second promotion, rookie. You are climbing up fast. 𝗬𝗓, all thanks to you, sir. Trumpet, no need for sir business anymore. We are now the same rank. 𝗬𝗓, whatever you say, Trumpet. Both 𝗬𝗓 and Trumpet cheers with their beers as they chug down the bottle. Trumpet, you know, since we are now the same rank, I'll let you in on a little secret. 𝗬𝗓, what is it? Trumpet, our original plan was to defeat the BLD Tyrant group as a sign of our revival, but now that they have been defeated by the heroes, they are no longer number one. Hearing this insult of the BLD Tyrant didn't sit well with 𝗬𝗓, but he had to endure it since he was still undercover. Trumpet, we will be attacking the supposedly new number one in the underworld for our revival. 𝗬𝗓, who is it? Trumpet, the League of Villains. I heard that All for One is their backing and we all know how powerful that guy is. So if we defeat them, we will be the new number one, and shall bring upon revolution to Japan. 𝗬𝗓 took another sip of his beer as he thinks about Izuku. Izuku needs to rescue the other captains first before the BLD Tyrant can rise again. He most likely will not have as much support as before, but that can be easily fixed. The main problem is the other villains groups looking to finish him when Izuku is weak. That can cause a very dangerous stunt in the group's growth and power, especially if it is All for One. So, the most logical thing is to defeat All for One before the BLD Tyrant makes a return, and it can be done through the MLA. 𝗬𝗓, sounds nice. When is it going to happen? Trumpet, we don't know yet. 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗟𝗘 and Skeptic are planning it for the most part. So when it is finalized, the rest of us lieutenants will know. 𝗬𝗓, alright then, let's just sit back and wait. Scene change to 𝗏𝗏 and 𝗏𝗏 are currently eating lunch in Tartarus. For lunch, they are served a loaf of bread, mashed potatoes, and a bowl of vegetable stew. It certainly isn't 5-star quality, but they will survive off the food. In a time span of a few days, 𝗏𝗏 had gotten used to Tartarus already. She had lived her life on the streets before, so life in Tartarus was a cakewalk compared to that. While 𝗏𝗏 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗔 to cope, to say the least. 𝗏𝗏, I'm actually going mad in here. I need to get out. 𝗏𝗏, relax. This place isn't bad at all. There is free food, clean water, a decent living space. What more do you want? 𝗏𝗏, oh, I don't know, maybe freedom. 𝗏𝗏, we are in the most guarded prison in Japan. There isn't a single shred of that in here. 𝗏𝗏, so we need to get out. 𝗏𝗏, yeah, so let's wait for Izuku. 𝗏𝗏, like I said, what if he doesn't come? 𝗏𝗏, and like I said, he will. 𝗏𝗏, where in the flying heaven is this optimism coming from? 𝗏𝗏, certainly not from you. 𝗏𝗏 sighs as 𝗏𝗏 eats another bite of mashed potatoes. 𝗏𝗏, these are really good. Better than the grilled dead rats I used to eat on the streets. 𝗏𝗏, I don't even want to know. 𝗏𝗏 chuckled as she takes a bite of the vegetable stew. Out of nowhere, another inmate sits beside 𝗏𝗏 as another villain came beside 𝗏𝗏. It was a blob of slime with eyes. Slime, are you new? I've never seen you around before. 𝗏𝗏, yeah. I arrived a few days ago. I'm 𝗏𝗏 and that guy there is 𝗏𝗏. Slime, you can just call me Slime. That's what everyone here calls me anyways. So what are you in for? 𝗏𝗏, killed a couple of heroes and now they dropped me off at this 2-star hotel. Would not recommend. Slime, wow, that is some mad kill you got there. I just tried to capture a girl. 𝗏𝗏, heh, suits you. Slime, hey, I'm not trying to be rude, but you are being a little judgmental, don't you think? 𝗏𝗏, yes 𝗏𝗏, be nice to our inmate. 𝗏𝗏, TSK, Slime, we have an hour of recreation every Sunday. There is usually a gambling corner around the cafeteria at that time. You can save up cookies, you get to bet in it. 𝗏𝗏, Slime, I haven't won anything yet, haha. Some other inmates here have been here for way longer than me, so they know the gist around here more. But I do know that there is a ring fight on Fridays. The guards don't really bother to stop it. Actually, I think they bet who is going to win sometimes. 𝗏𝗏, wow, I'm starting to like this place even more. How do I sign up? Slime, just talk to Johnny over there and he will hook you up. Be careful though, normally the fighters are very tough. Oh yeah, and the fights are quirkless. The Slime points towards a tall guy in the cafeteria as he explains that the person is Johnny. Toga, nice, I'll talk to him later, thanks for the guide Slime. Slime, no problem, if you got any questions, you can ask me. With that, Slime leaves with his plate of food. Citrus, you are participating, aren't you? Toga, yep. And you can't stop me. Citrus, wasn't planning to. Just don't dishonor the BLD Tyrant's name. Toga, don't worry, I will win. Toga lets out a wicked smile as she stares at Citrus. Scene change to Izumi Nizu, you three are now part of new UA Big 3. Izumi. Previously, there was an announcement on the speakers that called Izumi, Katsuki, and Hitoshi to Nizu's office. The three walk there as they wonder what it can be about. And now Nizu drops this bombshell on them. Hitoshi, what happened to the previous Big 3? Nizu, they sadly passed while doing their hero duties during their work studies. Of course, Nizu lies to Hitoshi about how the Big 3 died to keep the raid a secret. Izumi and Katsuki knows about the truth though. Izumi, why are we the Big 3? Shouldn't there be more powerful third years? Nizu, well sadly there aren't. You three are actually the most powerful right now. Katsuki, 𝗧𝗧𝗟𝗘. Finally the recognition of number 1. Nizu, Katsuki, you are third. Katsuki, Hitoshi, ha. Hitoshi burst out in laughter seeing Katsuki's pride instantly being crushed by Nizu. Izumi couldn't hold it and chuckled a little too. Nizu, Hitoshi is second and Izumi here is first. Now as the new Big 3, the plans for you all have changed. You will be receiving special training from what remains of our staff and some special teachers who are coming in soon. So basically, you will be treated as third years. Hitoshi, will we graduate sooner? Nizu, no, you will still be graduating with the rest of your class. Izumi, so when does training start? Suddenly the door burst open as an unidentified flying yellow object came speeding through the air, hitting Katsuki square in the face. Katsuki got knocked down as the flying object kept bouncing around the room, knocking both Izumi and Hitoshi down split seconds after. After the three has been knocked down, the flying object finally stopped as it lands on the ground. Nizu, meet your new instructor, 𝗓𝗓𝗏. GT, alright maggots, get your butt back up, we will be training your speed first since you are all slow. The three begrudgingly gets up as he follows 𝗓𝗓𝗏. They arrive at an empty field as 𝗓𝗓𝗏 stops. GT, now for warm-up, let's get you to sprint 400m in 50 seconds, no quirks allowed. Now go. The three immediately starts running as instructed with Hitoshi taking the lead, finishing the run in 42 seconds. Izumi finished in 44 seconds and Katsuki finished in 51 seconds due to the heavy metal arm. Blonde boy, you failed, run 10 kilometers as punishment. The other two, you are going to try to dodge my punches and kicks. There is no walls around here so you are at an advantage, but don't underestimate me. Without a warning, 𝗓𝗓𝗏 begins to fly at fast speeds at Izumi. Izumi barely dodges the punch as 𝗓𝗓𝗏 U-turns to Hitoshi as he gets punched. This lasted for a solid hour with Katsuki joining this hell some time later. Even with Izumi's MSTR of 1 for all, she isn't having a good time dealing with 𝗓𝗓𝗏. We don't even have to mention Katsuki at this point. Power ain't going to do SHT if you can't land a hit. Hitoshi is trying to cope, keyword being trying. GT, if this is the next generation of heroes, I rather join Nana. You did alright for today, tomorrow is going to be twice the training today, so go rest up. With that, the three went back to the dorms as 𝗓𝗓𝗏 sighs. He now sees the flaw with how the one for all quirk is like, even if there is one bad egg in the chain, it will ruin the descendants. Nizu, they didn't do that bad considering they are still first years. Nizu pops out of nowhere as 𝗓𝗓𝗏 almost had a heart attack. GT, and the first years you are referring to are the three strongest in this school. Yeah, heroes are doomed. Nizu, give them a little time and they will grow. Also don't hold back please, I can tell you aren't going serious. GT, I don't want back pain this early into the game, I'll go all out when they become better. Nizu, alright then good luck.